Hello everyone, welcome to the LightBringers podcast, episode number 6. We're going to be talking about season 1, episode 1 replay through, and it's going to be a little bit of a playthrough because the instance is so good, and not because someone hasn't done it yet. They can't hear you yet, but they're trying to put me off. I'm actually going to put their mics on as well, so they get embarrassed hugely. I actually realized that Kroof is now Rook and Rook is now Kroof. It's gonna be a mini swap. Whee! Hey. There you go. Now they can hear you. Sorry.
I got the finger guns ready. They're always loaded.
The eye makeup again, if you want to.
Oh, yes. All I said was that I'm gonna have to make my eyeliner even more impressive if I'm gonna be Kroof today.
You have to get the Amazon swoosh.
Yeah,
according to Boots.
Look at the Amazon swoosh.
It does kind of look like the Amazon swoosh, though, to be honest. It's a good catch.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
Did you hear that Canada's going to be in the World Cup of Soccer this year?
Ooh.
They play soccer?
Oh, wow.
They're going to be in the World Cup?
Of soccer.
Yeah. Why?
Not of hockey, which is weird.
Wait,
not
like,
of...
as in, they just aren't going to do hockey, but they are going to do soccer?
Yeah, they decided to stop playing hockey altogether, Canada.
Wow.
They're not good at hockey
Global warming
anymore?
is really making it hard for them to keep their ice rinks cold.
That's weird.
Yeah,
what we're going to do...
really well.
I'm glad that we
This is what we're
started talking about
today.
hockey randomly in football. Like, in the fact that they're not and are going to be in the World Cup. This is
No, they're
good.
not in the World Cup of football. They're in the World Cup of soccer.
No, everyone else calls it that.
All right,
Good
continue.
Lord. Honestly, Boots was the one moaning and starts talking about some random topic. Like,
Did I
it
miss
was
the moaning? I'm sad I missed the moaning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just talking about sports, and it's completely derailed us because we know a lot about MMOs, but
Yeah.
I know nothing about sports, so I won't speak for all of you, but I don't know
You
anything.
hit the ball into the hole.
It's football.
well, that's a different
Football.
sport.
A beautiful game, if you will.
Almost just removed crew from the group.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately.
Please.
Unfortunate.
We did all grab a Friday celebration beverage.
That's right.
But as I told everybody before the podcast, I didn't have any beverages that I enjoy currently in our house that wouldn't turn my mouth purple because the only thing I had was red wine. So I had to instead get this butt ale, and it tastes terrible. So if you notice me over here just periodically on stream today, like,
Wait, what
it's
is it
not
actually?
because of something
what is it
Jebro
actually
said.
called?
called?
Butt ale?
What is it actually called, though?
Two-hearted ale. It has a
Oh.
fish on it.
Okay.
Oh, that's not good. I don't want to be drinking something that has a fish on it. Like,
I don't know. I mean, this is part of the special collections for the new fishing rewards in Guild Wars 2, so I'm just doing my part. Yeah.
So Otterscotch, to answer your question, she's drinking it, yes, to torture herself, but that just like the Lightbringers, she just got to get through it.
Yeah, you just got power.
Wow. Wow.
Just like this podcast. You just got to suffer through
you
everything.
had a power.
What is wrong with everyone?
What's wrong with
worked hard
us?
on this.
What's wrong with you, Jebro?
I'm good, thank you.
Ooh, but this is not good. I'm gonna be burping up a storm. Oh no.
On
I'm
mic,
ready.
I hope.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Did they talk about EOD main story in the past podcast, or will they in the future? In future, it will be actually it's going to be in chronological order now, because
Yeah, we wouldn't.
Oh no, we have to cover season 2.
Yeah.
Then we'll do Heart of Thorns.
yeah,
Yeah, we're
it's
going to go through
gotta
the
be
whole
chronological
thing.
order now. Well, the thing is,
We
going
got-
through EOD's story is very like, it's gonna be later. I think that's a long process.
Jebro, you
don't have
cannot
one,
keep me waiting too long on this. You cannot. I am dying to
cannot.
talk about it. I love
We
this
can
story.
talk
I
about
just
it.
second
Can we just
conclusion.
start off this show with talking about the epilogue of EOD?
No,
Yes.
no,
Can we please?
no.
We will literally never not talk about the epilogue whenever it gets brought up, because I'm gonna say it right now. Gay rights, most beautiful moment I've ever experienced in an MMO. So beautiful. I
So good.
cried
Work.
like a baby. I was like, this is amazing. This is how they decided to end 10 years of storytelling and to
Yeah.
like commemorate their relationship.
Spoilers,
Oh my
by
gosh.
the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just in case anyone's not like, and the title of the show isn't End of Dragons, the end story, and what happens at the end. Like, just in case, I may have to mention that in the title.
I mean,
It's not that
cry.
consequential.
I mean, it's
I didn't
pretty.
cry, but
it's
I
pretty
was
important.
smiling from ear to ear the entire time.
That's very good. Okay,
Yeah.
so what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about the episode up until the point we are at, I think, and then we will go in. I think that's a good idea. I wish the Living World, as a point, the Living World music episode season 1 isn't available on Spotify, which is weird because most of the other Living World episode music is, which kind of sucks because Living World episode 1 music is very good. Very good. Okay. Yeah, of course it is. What are you talking about? Where are you right now?
I don't know if I noticed. That's actually something I didn't notice. But yeah, I never really. Maybe I had the music down. I'm not sure, but I'll pay attention next time.
Actually, important point as well. Where is it?
Or maybe because is it possible that they like use the music after season 1 as well, like continued the music throughout?
I mean, probably there are some classic.
Well, probably I'm just so used to it after 9 years.
Yeah. I mean, the Guild Wars 2. They've got some classic, tracks because when you're doing events in something like DSO Plateau and everything, it's just core Guild Wars 2 music. So the core Guild Wars 2 music, like it just rotated all of these regions specific tracks, and I love the core music as well. It's so good. Because it's Thingy from Skyrim, isn't it? It's what's his name?
Thingy, yeah.
it's Thingy from Skyrim.
I can't remember his name. I'm bad
About
with
Jeremy
names.
Soule.
Jeremy Soule.
Yeah, I heard something about Jeremy Soule, and I don't know if let's not get into that stuff.
Yeah, there was some controversy with him, but the music that he composed for the game was beautiful.
It was very good. Yeah.
The music is very good. But yes, you're right as well. Oh, why did they have to do that? So we're gonna also, there was a note about Lena, because Lena who did a lot of Guild Wars 2 music, actually did something else on this episode. I'm trying to find it.
Battle music.
Yeah, Lena was actually a part, I believe, of like the actual design of this episode.
Yes, designing the thermal core and berserker firestorm bosses for Molten Facility, which you're gonna get to see.
Yeah.
Which is really amazing. I had no idea because a lot of people really came to know her through Celeste, but she worked on Guild Wars 2 and even collaborated here
that's how
on this recent expansion.
I knew her from Guild Wars 2 before Celeste.
That's it. Yeah, from cool Guild Wars 2.
Only the OGs now.
Seriously.
From this exact content, I think was, they started to highlight people a little bit more. I think so, anyway. But yeah, very, very awesome. Okay, so first of all, this latest patch that came out had Guild Wars 2 Season 1, Episode 1 coming back, not the full episode. There are 5 in total, I believe. I think. I'm getting 5 in my head. It must be still 5.
Yes, 5.
Awesome. There was a very interesting article which Gears to Gnomes linked to me, which I got to read very, very briefly. And it was actually, it's on, gamerrant.com. And it was Guild Wars 2 game designer discusses challenges of modernizing Living World Season 1. And apparently there were 24 releases, or 24, not instances, but 24 releases for this season.
Every 2 weeks ish.
Yeah, wow. It was a lot. So they condensed a lot into 5 episodes, and they cut
some of the
releases
releases were, festivals, and some of the releases were small.
Yes.
So so for this, I was really interested to see how they would, trim the fat, I guess is the thing I wanted to say, but at the same time, because there was some fat, I think, in some of the original releases, like people keep on bringing back the build 200 signs for the refugees. I think it was 200 was the achievement for fixing the signs, and so I think there was that episode was like mostly fixing signs. But I might have faulty memory about that.
I think it was blown out a little bit out of proportion. Yes, I think it was because of the achievement, basically, because you didn't have to do many. It was,
Yeah, it was fixing the signs but I think that was the one where you first meet Bram, or like it was the Bram instance one, the going up to, well, maybe it wasn't that. Anyway, the point is they definitely streamlined it through these releases.
And I mean, when you think about what they were trying to achieve originally, so just in case anybody for whatever reason isn't familiar with this, right? When they first came off of, the release and they were saying, how are we going to handle content for patches in between? They had decided that they were going to do this like live interactive story, and that there would be new content every 2 weeks in the game, and that you would have to live through the season and experience it to actually be a part of that piece of time in the game, which obviously now we see in retrospect didn't actually create a good longevity and throughput for what would eventually become a linear story. Like, as we were working through this, there's been this huge gap. And like you were saying, there were a lot of things that just by the nature of trying to pump out some kind of content every 2 weeks were like, yeah, I don't know, signs is, and then achievement, 200 of them. You just got to do 200 of the signs. Like
signs everywhere, signs. Yeah.
So this format and condensing and making the story something that is actually more of like a cinematic linear experience, unifying the important bits that were in here, highlighting them, and then like integrating some of the best content from it. Oh, it's so smart. I was just playing it today and it's like really, really well done. I've really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And so, like, what was it like? I mean, I know Beats was here, played for it all. I know Kroof was here, you've played for it a little bit, and then kind of stopped for a while. I played for it originally as well. It was a long time ago, 2013. It was 9 years ago. And Rook started playing it today. So we played through, so we get to meet Bram, we get to meet Rox for the first time. We also get to witness for the first time, really, the relationship between Bram and his mum, Air. We also get to meet a couple of other people again, and some other main characters. Ritlock's in it. We get mails from Zoja again as well, which is very, very cool. And I was like, oh, I wonder if they put them in the game somewhere.
I didn't get a mail from Soldier.
You get a mail based off of
yeah.
Wait, no. You get a mail based off of your racial mentor.
Right.
So, like, I got one from Air. Some people get one from Zoja. Some people get them from Kaith.
Yeah.
I guess I was special because I got from both Logan and Zoja.
That's
think
because
I'm just
canonically,
special.
isn't your character's backstory that you have a Asura mother and human father?
Yeah. It was a tumultuous time. It was wrapped in controversy, but ultimately love prevailed, and I was wrought into the world, just like pulled from the depths into the light. So
is that what you call? Never mind.
Yeah, it was a really tough time. It was good.
I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about
I would as well. I actually wasn't aware of that, so thank you for that information.
Yeah,
that was very
I guess
cool.
Maybe humans got bugged a little bit, so I got both Logan and Zoja. I was like, why is Zoja messaging me?
I heard other people got Zoja as well, so I was like, oh, okay. Damn,
I love that in the chat, Casu was sassing me about how when I was listing them off, I forgot Logan again, because earlier I was listing off all of the Destiny's Edge members, and I was like, yeah, so we got like Air, Kaith, Ritlock. I like went through everybody, and then I was like, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And then everybody went, and Logan, and I was like, oh yeah, Logan was there too, I guess.
And that's like role playing Jenna. You always forget about Logan.
Oh, damn. Oof.
Wow.
Oh damn.
Wow, people. Okay, so let me have a look at some other bits. One
I know
thing
he's
that
a
was
guardian, but that's a lot of blue balls.
Oh god, Lord. It's gonna get like that today. So the story obviously has changed quite a lot. One thing that was interesting while Rook was playing as well, some people noted in the chat, which is what I forgot, is that the core story changed from this two-person interaction with two people on your screen. You got one on the left, one on the right, and you got the awesome artwork which kind of fades in. It might move from left to right, etc., etc. But in this, and I can't remember, I'm pretty sure this is where it started to change. They just had voiceovers of characters, and you were there. You were still in the world. You didn't have your voice until Half Horns. So, but you did have a voice leading up to through the core story, because you spoke, right? Like we actually spoke, and I've completely forgot about that. But for a while, we lost our voice. We didn't have one. We
were on vocal rest.
Yeah, we just didn't. We just didn't have.
Probably,
I was wondering what
probably
people
it's
thought about
the 2-week cadence thing that kind of made it impossible to get, like, just have a voice actor continuously on call. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, they
Especially
kind of did for the others, though, right?
It makes sense for those because it's such a, it's a bit more of a limited cast, but with the variations with 2 voices per race, it's a lot of people. It's also a lot of funding. So I don't know if it was like at the time when they had like that sharp increase and then it kind of quickly dropped. Or maybe they just thought that it wouldn't necessarily be as useful if they were just like, you know what, we'll focus on the characters that we're writing and it's not just the player character.
Yeah. Actually, could you guys remind me of something? So in the original Living Story Season 1, was it more like Season 2 where you walk up to people and they're talking in the real world and like the NPCs are talking to each other and it doesn't do fancy camera work? Or is it, or was it like it is?
Do you mean the mini cutscenes?
Like the mini cutscenes where like you're in the real world, but the camera zooms in and like goes from person to person. Did that exist originally, or was it not camera going in from person to person?
I don't know. I don't remember. I will actually try and find a Living World Season 1 playthrough from 2013 and see if that's something that anyone did. Because
it seems to me that like you were saying, that 2-week cadence, that is so brutal. Because normally, like when you are recording, or at least from what I've heard in little tidbits with various unions or various voice acting contracts and things like that, right? There are oftentimes like minimums for amount of characters or amount of time spent or like baseline of pay. So again, when we're talking about like hiring somebody on independently to every 2 weeks be doing something, like in theory it could work if you'd had the entire, like every single episode release already planned and you had all the lines already scripted and you like had your voice actors and you took them to the studio and you had them do all of that. But it sounds much more like, given the nature of it, they were literally having to like create and turn around content within a 2-week span. So I would not be surprised if they didn't have fully animated cutscenes. I think this version that they've kind of released with this new re-release, where we're sort of almost in a middle ground between like the old stand in front of background and talk, but then also with the like new fully realized beautiful cinematic, like it feels very much more like they're trying to sort of bridge that gap between like the core game and Heart of Thorns, and like the style is there. Also, we apparently have a terrible thunderstorm starting outside. So if you hear rumbling, it is because it has not stopped thundering for
maybe it'll drown out the sirens.
Maybe, we'll see. Fun sound time here in Chicago.
But that's interesting to think about in terms of, of course, the personal story had a very specific way of telling their story. And Season 1 and a little bit of Season 2 felt like they realized that it wasn't necessarily the best thing to do for the personal story. It has its nice nostalgia of the 2-person cutscene stuff, but this felt like they were like trying to figure out how they were going to deliver their story. And it really wasn't until Heart of Thorns where I felt like they had a solid understanding of how they're going to deliver that. Because there's a lot of cutscenes in this episode when it's like, now expectation is like we get a couple cutscenes throughout the season for big cinematic moments, but they seem to be using cutscenes very liberally.
I mean, that might just be an effect of trimming out the fat, right? Like,
true.
In all of the episodes we get these days, usually comes with a map to go along with it, and the map is usually introduced to us through busy work, through going in and exploring the maps and doing heart quests or doing like certain things like that that don't involve cutscenes. But they cut out a lot of that stuff, that busy work in these episodes. There's still a little bit. You still have to do a little bit, but it might just seem like there's a lot more cutscenes compared to the current episodes because of the fact that they just cut out everything that wasn't important story.
I really liked that they had us do a little bit of busy work on this map, like on the map in particular, a couple of maps here, but like it follows very much the structure of narrative that we see elsewhere in the game, where you get your quests and then there's a bit of exploration on the map time, and then But I had this moment while I was playing it today where I went, oh. Yeah, I guess logically I knew that like the Molten Alliance or the Dredge that were using stuff like that, or, the Flame Legion that I see had been a part of these events, but I had never really put 2 and 2 together that like what was happening on this map in this zone was the refugee plight, and like, the fact that all the dredge portals and stuff that are popping up were tied to this period of time in the game. And I suddenly, like, it wasn't too long even to just go around, although there's other achievements now with like doing the signs and finding the little dirt covered objects and stuff like that. But like, I had a moment where I went, oh my gosh, I actually finally understand in a way that this game showed me what the drama of this map is and why it's here.
I don't know if they've always been there. I think they brought it back.
Oh?
Yeah, I think because I feels like they have updated the map to the Living World story, but also kept that core idea of the map, even though like I don't of course the level of storytelling with each map in modern day is much more heightened and much more clear. Back on launch, like the maps felt much more like explorable areas with very minor story bits. So it feels, I was really happy to see that they brought back some of the events with the Molten Alliance out in the open world to make it feel more modern and to also expand upon that map. So if you're leveling or someone's a new player and they're like, oh, there's a lot of people here, and like, oh, what's this thing, this like Molten Alliance, and it just adds a little bit of extra space to the map.
They definitely had like the dredge, like, and they put it in the areas, so that's always been going on, Rook, like the stuff in the northwest, where there's the mining and there's all the dredge. So they kind of brought in portals and popped things up, like the well, actually, some of the events may have been old there, but they definitely brought some back, like the signs and all that stuff. But like, it was nice to see. Unfortunately, a good number of the events were bugged.
It did bug.
They're still broken.
They are? Aww.
Yeah. So they haven't actually fixed those, but which was a little bit frustrating because last night I wanted to see.
I mean, that's nostalgia also, right?
It is, it is, because they were broken
now,
then as well.
All we need is the Karka event and for everyone to crash as soon as they log in.
Interestingly enough, that is one of the things which is not going back, obviously, because we've gone past that now.
Well, not necessarily. Not
they could bring it back.
Have you read this article? They're not bringing it back.
Oh, really? Okay, because I was gonna say that
they've said they're not.
The South Sun, the original Karka event happened before all of the season 1 stuff, right? However, we do go back to South Sun. We do a lot of South Sun stuff in season 1, and it's a large part of the story, and it's just after the Flame and the Frost stuff. So
I would urge you to go read the Gamer Rant article. It gives a lot of insight as to them having to cut a lot of stuff out that they really didn't want to, unfortunately.
All right. Okay, so that makes sense then.
Yeah.
I figured that they would probably cut the South Sun stuff if there was anything to cut. I mean, even when I was doing my recap before the live streams that they did, when I was first scripting that, I had like everything written out from South Sun, and then eventually in final drafts when I was trying to time it, I was like, I have to cut literally anything that I think is truly not important big picture overall, and South Sun was like, sorry buddy, you have to go. I was like, it's so just important that Canuck and Casimir get introduced there, but the actual story of that area, which I hope they touch on somehow, because otherwise I don't know how they're going to introduce Canuck and Casimir. So I don't know if you have more info having read that article.
I do have a little bit of information. I can read it.
Okay, let us know.
Right, this is a quote from, this is real from the Game Rant speaks with Guild Wars 2 advanced game designer Joe Kims about the obstacles Arena overcame to recreate Living World Season 1. Again, Gears to Gnome messaged me this. It's a very late second. I didn't actually know this existed. So very much thank you to them. Big quote here. The South Sun Cove arc is one such casualty they mentioned just before about the things they had to cut. As ArenaNet decided to focus on Scarlet Briar and her schemes first and foremost with the rerun of Living World Season 1. Unfortunately, this means characters introduced in that chapter like Ellen Keel, big one as well, and Kanak will have to be introduced elsewhere in the narrative. So when was the vote for the mayor for Lion's Arch? Was it mayor for Lion's Arch?
Yeah.
What was that during season 1 as well?
Well, there was Dragon Bash. So Dragon Bash also has my Trin, and it did feature the Captain's Council. And was it Theo Ashford, who I think they even mention later now in End of Dragons, got assassinated by my Trin, and eventually Ellen would step up, right, to fill that role. Am I remembering correctly?
There was a vote.
There was a vote between Ellen and the black. Yeah, the Black Lion guy.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was thingy Nash. It was Nashblade, right? Wasn't Nashblade?
Evan Nashblade.
That's his name, right? Yeah. And they, so they made the players all vote.
Yes.
Whether or not they wanted Ellen or Evan Nashblade. And Ellen won in the end because I think it was reduced teleporting costs was the big thing that people cared about.
Yeah. I think Evan was repair costs, wasn't it?
Evan was repair costs, and also part of it also was Ellen said she would bring back the Thomanova reactor as a fractal, and Evan Nashblade said he'll bring back Abaddon as a fractal, like something about Abaddon as a fractal.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And everyone wants that Abaddon fractal.
I would love if they did something like this in the game again. Obviously, the whole format of the Living Season didn't work, but like, I do think you could still, within the season, to have a moment like that where you could say, like, hey, for our future storytelling, do you like this character or this character? Like, the idea of making an actual vote where, like, the people had platforms and you got something in the game, that is so cool. And that's an amazing way to, like, give players a sense of agency over the worlds they're crafting.
It's insane. Like, season 1 was the most interesting time in Guild Wars by far. And
well, is it not? When can you say? Do you mean positively or negatively or a mix? There was definitely
both. It's rough around the edges, but they were trying to do a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, and
the intention was there for sure. Yeah,
and for sure, like, in theory, it was brilliant, but in practice, it's a little rough because you don't have this repeatable content in the game. All this thing disappears with time, like tears in the rain. So it's like it's a shame.
Tears in the rain.
It's a shame that
song,
but I love that it's coming back. But I really want to see how they do certain things, especially stuff like the Nightmare Tower, the Tower of Nightmares.
Oh, yeah.
Because that period of time was like mind-blowing for me as a player, where about a week before the Tower of Nightmares was revealed, we had no idea what was coming. In Keswick's Hills, one player found and posted to Reddit that, hey, there's like this weird invisible wall.
Yeah.
I can't swim further into this lake, and I don't know why. And then everybody was like, what's going on? Because there was literally a force field that Scarlet Briar put around this Tower of Nightmares, and eventually it appeared in front of everybody.
It's invisible.
And then it disappeared. I mean, well, it got destroyed. Spoilers. And anyway, just it's so
well, the thing is, Boots,
cool.
is that the funny thing is that people wouldn't. We're going to talk about this when it comes up, because this will definitely be in the episodes. If it's not, I'd be very surprised. But people wouldn't have seen the map before that tower was there. Like, there's a lot of people who haven't seen that map in its original form, like that just middle section, because the other section, the other areas around it are like battered and bruised because of what happened in the tower and the events that happened there. Because you had to gather together different commanders and stuff and attack. Like, you had to do different stuff, didn't you?
Yeah. So that's one of the things I'm looking forward to seeing how they do it. Another thing I'm looking forward to seeing how they do it is Lion's Arch and stuff that happens in Lion's Arch, because we had old Lion's Arch before these events happened, and so I want to see what they do with that, making us go back to the good stuff or not. I don't know, but my long story short, this episode, although it was fun replaying it, I don't know if Kroof is on board with me in saying this, but it was like not that consequential to me replaying this storyline, because almost all of the aspects in this particular episode are already replayable in game, in fractals or whatnot. And then on top of that, you know, on top of that, it's like not the really interesting things that I don't know how they're gonna do.
Well, let us before we think about that. This is why I'm glad I watched Rook this morning because Rook's playthrough was a very good indication of someone who has not seen the story in the same way we have. Because you are right, and when I was playing, I was like, I've done this, but I've done this over here. And then I've done this over here.
Exactly, it's disjointed.
And I've done this over there. So this is a really good point for Rook to jump in and say, how did you feel about getting up to the point where you are now, which is the Molten Facility?
Oh my god, it was like night and day. Like, I'm not gonna even lie. I never got to play Living Season 1. And I was telling everybody while I was going through it, I was like, there are all these things that I've intuited about characters, like, especially if they had other established connections. So like Bram and Air, for example, like when I came into season 2 and beyond, I was like, oh yeah, he's like her estranged son. And, you know, okay, I kind of get that. Like, all right, sure, fine. But then there were other characters, particularly Rox and Canuck, that I was like, I don't even know who the hell this is. I was like, and I have almost no context to even understand who they are. Like, everybody kept telling me for ages that Rox's Frostbite was a god, and I was like, that seems like really important if I should know that this tiny little spider
Rox was a god? Rox's pet
god.
was a god.
Frostbite is a god.
Frostbite
is my god.
Yeah, Frostbite is definitely a deity. I think was it the 8th god? Yeah, the 8th god.
Yeah. And like, you know, I could not figure out what was happening. So many people loved Canuck, and I was like, he's sassy, I guess. I like the sassy character, you know, like I didn't understand anything. And even when we got those piecemeal bits, I was like, oh, this is kind of like that. And then when I was doing research, obviously, leading up for the recaps of the Living Seasons, I really sat down to hammer out all the details and figure out what had happened really specifically, hyper specifically season 1. And I was like, whoa, what? And then lo and behold, I played today. And even just having like the story cushioning around those beats, particularly for me with Bram, I mean, Rox as well, because like we actually understand fundamentally what's happening with Rox now, which I always thought was really lovely. The fact that she had lost everybody, she's trying to find a new warband. We even see like in that instance with the hatchery, what a warband means by the one guy who's there, who's the lone, he's like so worried about being the lone survivor of his warband. And then later we find out that Rox herself is the lone survivor, that like she has had no one and she's trying to find her place. And then she gets Frostbite as well, who ends up being part of her family in a sense. Like, and like, that's so meaningful. And with Bram as a character, like he can be so insufferable at points in the game. And then as we were going through stuff today, seeing the way that like he went to one of his mom's best friends and Ritlock was like, she doesn't have any kids, and you're like, oh shit,
damn,
like that's so terrible, like that's awful. And you start hearing about like what has made him somebody who like has struggled so much with feelings of inadequacy and self-worth and his own doubts, having to shoulder the burden of being someone. I mean, his dad who loved him, who carried him to this hold in his arms, like the person that cared for him died when he was young. The only family he's ever known at this hold, he literally cannot get anyone to care about them as much as he does to go help and save them. Like, and then as we're going through all of this, I get the bomb dropped on me that he's 16 years old at this point in the story.
I didn't even know that until you just told me that.
I didn't either.
Oh, we forgot. I think we forgot. Like, we didn't realize. Like, I knew he was young, but like, it's been 9 years.
When you said he was 16, I was like, that explains everything about this character.
That explains a lot.
I mean, teenage angst and you like early 20s when you're still learning about yourself as a person, let alone learning about yourself. I literally work with kids whose parents are displaced, or parents are like, they have estranged parents, like that they don't know, and they have all these traits and parts about them which, you know, they don't like. And they're probably
the fact that he wasn't able to grow a beard before now, it makes sense.
And that makes sense.
I mean, it actually, like, really, that sounds so silly, but you're right. Like, you're right. Like, and the fact people were even pointing out that, like, Rox refers to him as Cub all the time. And I was like, I didn't even pick up on that. I thought she was just being, like, affectionate or something. I don't know.
Or, like, patronizing.
Yes, like, it's like when you think about all of that, and then like as we went into the instance with him, because like it is the same thing that I've played in the Pool of Memories, but as we were walking up to the gate, I was so struck, like I was talking about this on stream today, I was so struck by the dialogue he has before you go through the gates, where he's like, you can do this, all right, you can do this. Like, he's gone to other people for help, they didn't help him, you're the only one at his side. Like, he's scared, he's 16 years old. Like, and then you hear this child as you go through the hold that's crying and is like I have to be brave, and like as you're fighting, she's like sobbing, and the whole time I couldn't help but think, like, he is almost a child. Like, he is almost somebody in this same situation. And then you think about how irrational he is, and how numbskulled he is, and how stubborn, and how just stupid he can be at times. And I was like, yeah, when I was between 16 and 20, I also did a lot of stupid, dumb stuff that like I thought at the time was a good decision, but I had no idea the bigger emotional consequences. You know what I mean?
Has that changed up until the age of 30, or is it just got worse?
How would you like to expand on this?
I was going to say that at the age of 40, I'm still doing some pretty
life story session.
That never changes, but you definitely do more when you're 16, that's for sure. But like, I mean, that's another question to ask as well. Should it maybe have been made more blatant that he was that young at times? Were there the indications there? Or is it difficult to show that when you have character models, for example, that are children and then adults? Because there's not many ways you can make a character look old in Guild Wars 2 other than hair color and a little
bit. His voice was also very deep.
Yeah, I mean, he's a
like,
norm,
the
though,
presentation of it was
that's the problem.
It was just like it already read as much older than he actually is. So I did not even know that he was 16 at this point in the story, and I was like, oh wow.
Just needed to like have his voice actor, break his voice a few times. Like,
I think Rook said that the good point there, like kind of G'ing your way self up. Like I remember doing that at job interviews when I was a kid. I mean, like younger, but I still do that now if I was gonna, probably. But like there is these little hints, like the cub thing as well. It is interesting. Damn, it's like wow. Okay.
I would have liked for them to have like very clearly said, in some way, even if it had just been alluded to, where Air said something like, 16 years ago, his father and I split up or something, and he took responsibility for him. I don't know, like even something like that, I think would have given you a little bit more grounding in like exactly what the timeline was. And then when you find out that his father showed up at the hold when he was a baby, then you're like, oh my God, he's 16 years old. Like, it's tough because it is a fantasy race. He is a Norn. So like we said, the markers that might indicate like puberty, let's be honest, like in Norn, we don't really know. They probably do physically mature faster. They are definitely strong. Like, and yet, like you pointed out, Boots, kind of jokingly about the beard. It was not something I had ever thought about. And yet I commented on End of Dragons. I was like, look at him with his beard. Like, I was so excited about it. And that might very well be a much clearer indicator with him, because he had never had a beard until that point. And I hadn't even thought about these details. So like, everybody cut Bram some slack. He was a dumb 16-year-old that was dealing with a lot of big emotional stuff. Like, I think that this episode, while it is a lot of stuff that we've seen already, to me, I already loved the characters, but this made me fall in love with the characters, like in a way that I had never really been given before. I had to make the leap to understand and enjoy the characters and accept the fact that I just didn't understand how we met or what that even meant. But now I feel like I've actually gotten that bit of something to show like what I did for them, why they care about us, why we're together, why we even know each other.
It is really important, because the Scry Paul wasn't enough, was it? You do these little instance bits, and they just didn't seem like they were enough. I mean, that's really, really good to hear. So how
did you find out he was 16? Is it just like written somewhere, or? Yeah,
chat was telling me. I think there is. I need to look and see exactly what the source is.
Said it from.
And probably on the wiki too.
I think it's maybe wiki oriented. Like, But again, like I never would have thought that. And it makes me think a lot about a lot of the discourse that's happening right now around Turning Red, which is a really fantastic movie. And I super enjoyed it personally. But there is like this discussion that's been happening about like finding young people cringy. I've talked about this with like Timey before, you know, I've talked about, and the thing is that like, yeah, we probably did do stuff that was cringy when we were young. And yet at the same time, I don't think that nullifies our own emotional responses, journey, interactions, feelings, the things we had to go through, the things we had to grow through. Like, and so to me, it's, I hope that people give Bram a little bit more of a break. He has his frustrating moments, but like having that all in perspective, it made me appreciate even more, I think in a sense, what a brave character he is, because he is unlikable a lot and he's a mess and he's kind of a disaster. And yet I feel like a lot of what makes us all so frustrated with him is that we ourselves at points in our life, be it in our youth or older, have done that exact same kind of thing. Well, and it is something that we find unbearable to witness.
As a counselor, you learn something called, you know, basically we go through different life stages, right? These stages are very, very short from the age from when we're born to when we become adults, right? And then there's like midlife, and then there's like you're old and then you die. Like it's just that's just kind of, you know, that's kind of it. It's a bit sketchy, but adolescence is literally the most difficult part of your life. You go through the most change in the concentrated point of time where your personality changes, you grow all the things, like you get hair and stuff, you start puberty, you know, all of that period of time, which he goes through, we literally witness all of these changes. We all went through and were very, very painful in many, many different ways for each and every single one of us because we went through change. Big change that we often forget. And sometimes watching people go through these things which trigger stuff in us, remembering how difficult it was for us when we were teenagers, our first loves, our parent interactions, which is a big one in this with mom, people get like, and they kind of do get a little bit triggered. And they do bring up memories of their own past and cringiness, like you say, like you remember the things you did when you were a teenager. Like I remember doing stuff
I blocked them out.
Sorry,
I blocked them out.
Like really cheesy stuff that was cute, but like you just like you wouldn't do now because you know better. And it was like, and maybe not. So
I never
cute.
Experienced that. Never.
Right,
no.
I mean, you're closest.
I think I'm just delusional. So.
But like. But you know, so it makes sense, and what you're talking about that movie even makes sense as well. Like, you know, it's studying that kind of stuff. Like, why is it weird for people to look back on this period of time in their life? And it's like, well, because loads of shit happened. Like, you know, it makes sense. So yeah, it absolutely makes sense completely. That's really good insight. Actually.
I must have known. Because I played through season 1 when it was out, so I must have known at some point that he was 16. I guess I just completely forgot. And I've always been associating Bram to an adult role, and because of that, I have honestly gotten really frustrated with him very many times. But as a 16-year-old, you know what? It makes sense.
Yeah, at least early on in the story. A bit later in the story, I'm kind of like, okay.
Well, I don't know. It's tough. I think you don't have to like him. You don't have to like how he was used. Like for anybody, right? Like you don't have to. When I first encountered Bram in the story, I hated him so much, and I called him Bram Cracker all the time because I thought he was boring and bland, like graham crackers.
Nice. Okay.
Graham crackers are amazing.
I know. I actually do like graham crackers, so I don't
know. S'mores.
But like, I really hated him. And it's funny because I think now, looking back, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm about to say this.
Uh-oh.
He might be one of my favorite characters.
Whoa.
What?
I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm so sorry. I know a lot of people are going to be deeply upset by what I've just
Controversial,
said.
Yet somewhat brave.
I think the reason being that I have to admire with this new revelation, especially that has happened today. I don't know if before this I would have necessarily said it, but like I said earlier, I think the writers committed to writing him in a way that's impressive. Like in chat, even the mention, like, it makes maybe more sense now why too he got so drunk during the Icebird saga, and you're like, oh my gosh, like if he's heard so much about drinking culture from the Norn, and then lo and behold he finally is allowed to be a part of it, and he's partying and it's this big celebration and he gets absolutely wasted and he loses track of something that he cared about, I'm like, oh boy, that was me the first time I ever drank alcohol. Like when I look back, like even his loss of his mother, I talked about this on stream a little bit, like to just speak frankly and openly and vulnerably, I had a really complicated relationship with my dad. Like I loved him more than anyone, and he also hurt me more than anyone.
Yeah.
And when he died, the anger I felt was something that truly surprised me, and I still am processing to this day what it means to even forgive him after years of dealing with a complex relationship that never met full resolution. And so I hate Bram in those moments where, especially, I was just replaying with like the Return 2 seasons, where he is such a little idiot, oh my God. And he's just like walking away and he's like, I'm gonna do this on my own and I hate you and you suck so bad. And then I feel that anger myself. And what it meant to stop perceiving the people around me or even my own father as a villain in my life and remember the things that had been good. It was blinding for a while. So I'm sorry I got really emotional, but
oh, please do not apologize.
I can't say that I've ever experienced that narrative in a game. Loss is oftentimes something that's depicted as like it was a heroic sacrifice, or it's depicted as a, well, they deserved it, or it's depicted as a, and now I'm so sad, but it will fuel my hero journey. But it is so rarely depicted as ugly and messy and angry and remorseful. Sorry, I didn't think to get so.
No, absolutely.
I've been reflecting on him today.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Really,
yeah,
yeah, absolutely. Fuck yeah,
oh
that's awesome to hear. I love it.
But like,
not
I'm
like your
glad to
story,
see
but
it.
sorry, but like
Wow.
how
No.
you've connected to like the story and felt
Yeah.
seen by it is beautiful. You know, that's good.
So like, I think it's important to have been done. And I think it's important to think about. Like, I want to advocate for thinking about it, because oftentimes when people need mental health, the support and friendship the most are the times that they are at their ugliest and their worst. And so to write even characters off, you can absolutely critique a lot of things. And I'm not saying you have to love this character if there were a lot of things about him that really rang dissonantly or terribly to you, right? But like, I encourage people to realize that oftentimes the ugliest parts of our experience are the times when we were hurting or alone or unsure. And especially when you think about his age in the context of all of that, it really struck me today. It really got me today. And I love that they did that with his character. So yeah, I was just thinking about it today.
Thank you, Rook.
Yeah.
No, thank you, friends, for listening.
That's awesome. It's a therapy session. I mean, the way it's I'm not doing therapy. We're not doing therapy here. We're listening. That's not gonna happen. But
By the way,
like,
congratulations on your test, Jeb.
Yes! Oh my God, yes! Talk about it!
we were just having a moment. Why would you do that?
It's another moment.
We can have a lot of moments, Jebro.
Jebro passed his exam. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you. I know it was weighing on you.
It was. That was it. No, not taken away from it. Thank you. I do appreciate it. It was difficult. It was a very. It's like I think it's called a power test. I found out about them recently. They're just made intentionally hard, and like you have to just pass it. And I've got another one for my licensure, so it's very it is difficult. And funnily enough, it ties in with trauma from when I was younger in tests and that stuff that went around with my family. So it's another interesting thing. And around that time of 15, 16. So, you know, like Rook's saying, it like that period of our lives, wow, I linked to that well. It was very good until I said it. Is that, you know, we really, really do. And like Rook sharing that one, you just shared that story with 100 people here and the hundreds of, or maybe thousands of people who are listening and watch that. So that is a very vulnerable thing you just did. And I want to just I just want to highlight that for a second, because that is not something that we can all do very easily, and it's not easy to do, and it's hard, and we have to look at the stuff ourselves, let alone letting other people look and hear about that. So fucking thank you for that. I don't care about swearing.
Brooke, I don't know, I don't think I've said this before, but I really appreciate your voice and your ability to express yourself. You're amazing, and I think that you just somehow were able to get me to relate to and like Bram, and that's something that's something incredible in itself. So
First the Aurene legendaries, now Bram.
I'm coming for all of you one by one. I'll make you all fall. No, I appreciate it. It's hard for me not, I mean, Jeb, I know you know this. It's hard for me not to make a joke about this. Like, ha ha ha, yeah, it's so funny. Like when I said, how many times Griff has syphilis? I'm very good at being eloquent. But I mean, honestly, I told myself a long time ago that I think vulnerability is it's a power. And it's a power other people can hold over you. So when I talk about stuff like this, it's because if I can make anybody feel less alone in those moments, that's what matters to me. I felt like a long time I couldn't talk about it. And games are phenomenal because we take these stories with people, and it might be a character that everybody hates, but you might be the person that's like, this character made me realize I am not alone in this. And I love that. Guild Wars 2 has a lot of brave characters like that. And God, End of Dragons, even we were talking earlier about the epilogue, you know what I mean? Such a beautiful thing to see. There were a lot of moments in this game that have really hit me in a way that many other studios just will not oftentimes take the chance on. And I'm glad that they took the chance on a lot of these characters, and that now we can see where those chances began. Because for so long, there was a huge gap in understanding, you know? Such a huge gap. So this is really important to see everything that they had in mind when they were making these characters. And thank you. That was really sweet of you to say, Boots and Jeb and everybody. And Kroof, thank you for being here. Your beautiful face makes me happy. That's all. The end. All right.
Okay. And I think, yeah, like you say, you know, that I think it is brave that Arena go to those places where they show the ugliness of ourselves at different points in our life as well, because that's what our life is about. Life isn't about, you know, Instagram, seeing the perfect life, like on Twitter and all that kind of stuff, you know, where you see the one perfect thing. And because life is just not like that. It's not. It's shitty and it's crappy and it's just terrible and it's awful, but it is awesome as well at the same time. And showing those moments is good because you can connect with it. And I love that you know, like even just your story makes me think about him in a different way. And not that I ever disliked Bram. It definitely was annoying, but that was the teenage kind of angst. Like definitely the teenage angst, like as a boy growing up, like as 16, 17, 18-year-old. And because I think it's on a majority as well, I think it's a lot of men and boys that specifically do not like Bram because they're like, damn, that was me when I was a kid. And you're like, damn, that was like, maybe I was that annoying as a teenager. Oh, he's so annoying. And bless my clients, I've got teenage boys as clients as well, and yes, sure, they can be annoying, and that's okay for me to say because I'm allowed to. But like, you know, it's just a thing. So I think there's definitely some relation there, and it can be a little bit frustrating. We're gonna go and move on a little bit. If you do want to read about Bram's story as well as Rox's story, you can actually read about his father, and I believe his father passing away and everything else. When he was about 7, or they start off from when he's 7 on the wiki, and I can throw in the links as well to that in the chat, which gives you even more of a little bit of backstory, which is from official sources. I think maybe they had some interviews back in the day, but again, this is something that Gears to Gnomes linked to me, so appreciate that little bit of information. So there's some links in the chat there for Bram's story and Rox's story. I will put them in the description if I remember. Likelihood is I won't. We'll try. I'll try. But we'll go back to the Living World story and talk about the cutscenes. Apparently, Cass said in chat as well that those cutscenes are still from the base story.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
It made me think that they were added in, but I guess I just misremembered.
They're different. I mean, we did. I think I forgot as well that we did start to get a little bit more of the cutscene action. So that's
because
cool.
We didn't really get those cutscenes at least in the beginning of season 2. So they just stopped using them in season 2 and then restart again, or?
I mean, are you sure we didn't?
I think
Not really.
it might be because the cutscenes do take you out of the moment of the game, and that seemed to be the driving narrative with the studio around the time of Heart of Thorns, is that they wanted to keep you in the action of the game, and they wanted to use cutscenes more sparingly. So I think after season 1, it was more of a back pocket, highlight a moment type thing, rather than to use it as a way to mainly deliver the narrative.
Yeah, what Krupp said. There were definitely moments where we do get cutscenes in season 2, but so much more of it was like you were remembering, Boots, where it was just like people talking and you are kind of moving along with them, walking along with them, or doing various things. The big ones that stood out for me are like Kaith's memories. You see like cutscenes with those. You see some of the stuff with the pale tree and things like that. But yeah, it seemed like they pushed much more to the immersive experience leading into Heart of Thorns. And then with Path of Fire, they leaned much more into the storytelling experience. And then like End of Dragons was the perfect hybrid of both somehow, which was amazing. So.
Okay. Changes as well, a few things. The personality we noted last night when I was playing, where you do courage, dignity, all that kind of stuff. Those bits were in there, those little nuggets where you can select the different options. They took that out. Obi reminded us last night. Obi and Cass with the bombs of knowledge. Who seemed to remember everything. Literally was like, yeah, they took that out. And I was like, yeah, on the hero panel, we used to have that personality section in the top right. And they just got rid of it. They straight up got rid of it because like it didn't really change much in the story other than a few interactions. And then they just realized, you know what, overall this is probably just gonna be way too long. This is gonna take a lot of effort to enjoy. Like, you know, I feel like they were gonna probably go down the way of like different storylines, maybe depending on if you were like more dignity oriented or charm oriented or whatever. But you know, probably didn't work out the way they wanted it to.
I would have loved, I think there are big pros and cons to that, right? As I was experiencing it again today, I was like, oh, I kind of miss this system. I always hoped that it would have some kind of payoff, even if it was just that NPCs regarded you in a slightly different way. Like your reputation was that you were very intimidating. So like you'd go up to somebody, they'd be like, okay, well, there's, and then maybe you'd get like an intimidate option or something where you could get additional information or something from them. We've seen some games a little bit do that. Like ESO is the only game I can think of right now that's an MMO that has some kind of system. Now those are just like skills you unlock, so you just unlock the ability to persuade or intimidate, and they don't change a whole lot, but I would have loved to see them use it. I know why they moved away from it though. Absolutely. Yeah,
too much of it. Okay, I think someone interjected with a siren. I'm not sure if that was correct or that was rigged.
Oh no.
It was either Chicago or LA, so let's think about that then.
Why not both?
I mean, at the same time.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Oh, fancy. Okay.
Spanish.
It's
just a language, Jebro, that some people speak.
It sounded fancy as well. Okay, so what else? Let me think about this. We could probably just do the instance. So up until now, we met Rox, we met Bram. We've actually, you see a lot about, you're talking about Rox as well as story. You actually think about, you know, Rox trying to get into Ritlock's warband, right, as well. And there's bits towards that at the end. Sorry for the spoiler. And just like, yeah. Lots of story and lots of bits and bobs that were just awesome, and getting to walk around Black Citadel as well a lot was just cool, and to go into the core zones. Like I was just having all these moments of like, core Guild Wars 2, started reminiscing about like the core game, and I went to Ore and started running around there randomly, and I started to go around my old gathering routes. Because like everyone like used to do like first couple of years, and probably still do, but there's really good gathering routes, end game materials, because end game materials were the best materials at the time because so many people were leveling up and they were just selling off the stuff. So end game materials were like omnom berries, the wood, the ghost peppers, the all the stuff, the temples, and I started talking about temple farming as well, and I'm like, the core end game, man. Those events were hard.
I mean, I don't know if you want... It's not that great to reminisce. It wasn't the best end game.
I loved it.
Really?
Yeah, I loved it.
I don't know. All I remember is all I remember from the core endgame was staying at Curse Shore. Yes. There's like that path through the mountain, and you go back and forth between them, and you just do this like farm where you kill a bunch of mobs on both sides, and then back. You're probably right.
Back. I don't remember how dull it was, maybe, but I was in World v World a lot of the time, so I would go back there to farm for stuff when I needed to change my armor, but like. Other than that, yeah, I think if you didn't do much else, then it was probably pretty horrible.
But yeah, so yeah, my takeaway from it, as someone who played it originally, this isn't the most interesting episode for me because of the fact that 90% of the things we did in this episode are available in game, whether it's through fractals or through doing like the Nolan Hatchery and the and Crag Village in the. You could just walk up and do those instances again.
Oh,
so,
Cragtown.
Yeah, you can do it in the scrying pool. So
in the scrying pool, but I understand, and I could definitely see someone who has never done it before, it filling so many holes. So don't quote me on that, please.
Even still, I think having that experience of season 1 and seeing it go away, and then comparing it to what they tried to do with the scrying pool, I think that this is so much better because you have that full story package of the dialogue bits that weren't in the scrying pool. So it does paint a much more clear picture than what it was like for the scrying pool. So
for sure, yeah. Because you don't know you don't know why you're there in the scrying pool necessarily.
Yeah.
But now you do.
It's just like relive this moment in the past.
It was honestly so smart to do that. Like, I don't know if I'd be so curious to hear what the conversations surrounding this were. And maybe some of that article that Jebro was talking about and Gears to Gnomes linked would fill in the blanks a little bit on this, because we even at the time that those came out, I remember us speculating like, oh, maybe they'll use them later. It'd be so great if they use them later and like strung them into an actual story, you know? We were at some point discussing this. I remember it on the podcast. So to have that, and like especially coming off of a new expansion, knowing that they're already starting work on the next expansion, but then to also have these fully realized playable story instances that maybe just a few tweaks were needed for, they could then just kind of take and bloop and put right into the other stuff. That has to have expedited this and made part of this really possible for us to get both Living Season 1, all this new stuff, all the other content, the new expansion on the horizon. So whether or not at the time, like, they knew that they were going to have the opportunity to fully rework it, or they just sort of hoped, I am really glad that they went ahead and did some of that legwork if it meant that we were able to like realize it this way moving forward. I mean, there are some that it doesn't even seem like they're going to use, because they did put that Canuck one in. I don't know if they're going to repurpose that somehow and have it play into the story.
I mean, that is where we meet him, right? And it said in the article that we're probably not going to get to that.
Are you saying?
Well, I think we will go back.
South Sun stuff?
I think we will be going back to South Sun, but what they might do is just reposition it in the timeline of the season, because I feel like you have to go back to South Sun at some point to at least introduce the Canuck storyline, because they have that instance there. So you might as well.
But I agree with you. It sounds like they're not.
But like
because it wasn't just South Sun came before season 1. Yeah. So that stuff won't necessarily be there. But there were moments in South Sun during season 1. So are we going to be spending a lot of time there? Probably not. But the story might, at least detour a little bit to talk about it without, oversaturating the content in South Sun.
Yeah,
I'm just like, you kind of have to.
I mean, we're just going, like, the information in this article, we're not going to get to meet Canuck in the way we would have we did originally. It's pretty much what they're saying. But like,
that could also mean timeline, because there was a lot of stuff that led up before season 1. So I don't know if they're going to cut it all.
I'll let you take from the article what you want, and you can go read it.
I love that I could see behind Jebro's eyes that Jebro's like, no, absolutely not.
They literally said it. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Jebro's like verbally like.
Did they say that they're not going back to South Sun?
No, they just said they're not doing the Canuck introduction, but they didn't say specifically. They said there's a lot that they I have to read it again, but that's the inference I got from the article, as far as I could tell. I don't want to read it right now because it's pretty long.
Well, I'm focusing on the instance that we can currently play in the scrying pool. That wasn't really his introduction though. That was like after we already knew Canuck. So like, but the instance takes place in South Sun. So that's why I'm kind of led to believe that we will probably go back there at some point, but the introduction will probably be different.
I hope they do actually take people to that map somehow. Like, even if the actual South Sun plot as we know it is just not there at all, if for no other reason than the fact that, like, when I was first playing through this game, that map was one that, like, I didn't know why it was there, why it existed, what even mattered about it. Somebody said something about Karka, or I was working on world completion at some point, and I was like, I went there and I went, what is this place?
So having played season 1, the answer isn't that great either.
We had this conversation. I loved that event. But it was bad. It was pretty bad, yeah. So it was like
I enjoyed it.
Tech-wise.
I enjoyed it, but it was just like we're in Lion's Arch. So this was before Halloween, I think. It was the first thing that came into the game after launch. And you're in Lion's Arch. They're like, okay, at this time, there's going to be a really important event that you'll never be able to play again. And then all of a sudden, these Karka, these things we've never seen before, start attacking Lion's Arch. But I played it for about 12 seconds before the computer froze. Everybody got kicked out. And then, but then it was you have to take back South Sun Cove from the Karka. So we landed there with the consortium, take back the map, defeat the Karka Queen, and everybody got a precursor. And then, but that's about it. Like, there's not a great storyline about it. It's just there. It's just a map that's there. I think it was like, the first trial at a big, immediate instanced, thing, non-instance thing, a big
the
map
Karka
thing.
were a big threat, right? Because they were appeared in LA in different places, didn't they?
That's it. They attacked LA, and so we had to go take it back. And
that's why we've got
the
Karka, the thingy princess.
Yeah,
was when that came in, right? Wow, how I actually remember that.
Did Princess come in? No, Princess wasn't when that.
Did it come later?
I think it came later because it gives Ascended stuff, and Ascended stuff came later.
That's true. Or maybe,
yeah, I mean, maybe they'll just use the consortium as like some other group that's funding Scarlet, or like they'll kind of rework it in that way, because it was a little meandering in a sense, and they could also use it as a sort of setup for maybe some of the stuff that we get with payoff of dragon related stuff in End of Dragons, right? Where the Karka and being disturbed from their underwater and all those other things, like we're kind of a point there.
True.
Maybe.
Yeah, Scarlet probably must have had something to do with all of that.
It's true. Zeno says, isn't there some sort of tomfoolery that has not paid off yet with the consortium? Yeah, the consortium is it's basically Amazon, but evil.
Maybe
just Amazon. It's basically Amazon. It's basically Amazon, and it played a role in every little thing in season 1 and a little bit in season 2, I think, and then it just sort of disappeared. Kind of like E. It was there, and then it kind of just disappeared.
They were mentioned in Path of Fire briefly, so it's not like they've been totally forgotten.
No, I mean, they can't just disappear entirely.
Apparently they were in the Icebreed Saga as well. Apparently this is stuff in the Icebreed Saga as well. I'm on the wiki, and there's
did they rebuild LA? They helped, I think. Yeah.
Probably. The consortium's the consortium. They do everything.
The consortium claims to be financially supporting Dessa and her crew in the Fractals of the Mists.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And the Fractals as well. The consortium gift shop.
I mean, they could always poke their head again. It's just a nice way to, like, they don't have to be a big part of the storyline. They could just be, like, the people trying to profit off of everything and just make havoc every once in a while.
How amazing would it be if they did put something in about the consortium and even, like, reworked some bits about it? but then like actually directed new players to fractals and were like, oh, look, here's this hub and it's funded by the consortium.
Well, that's what
and
they did.
there's stuff to do here.
That's what they literally said in the Icebreed Saga. It said after the deaths of the Elder Dragons, Jormag and Primordus, the consortium began promoting the fractals of the mist for commercial purposes. Literally started doing that.
And then rework agony resistance to just
cool.
delete it from the game.
Yeah, I mean, just like having that transition, especially given the placement of Living Season 1 after players have finished the core game, to even just briefly swing them by fractals and have them know that that's the type of content they could do would be really great. I don't know if they'll do it, but I mean, you find fractals and people, I think, still find their way to them, but I know a lot of people who also have a bit of problems between the like dungeons, but then they're like, wait, but are there any actual instance thing that I run in this? Or like,
And you have to build this agony resistance system, but it's character bound.
Yeah.
Interesting. There's loads of stuff. It seems like they want to kind of help and be good, and like it's just there's loads of little stories about them. I actually want to read more about that. Should we go and play this instant, shall we? I think I'm still in the game.
I think we shall.
Yes. Let's go.
Who's starting it? Oh wait, we gotta get Era to start it.
Yes.
I'll do it. Hold on, let me turn my in-game audio on again.
If nobody wants to do it, I will.
I'll be the hero of this story.
Says the 90-year-old grandmother.
I'm so old.
Oh, I love the granny with a knife in Guild Wars too. It's so good. So good.
You all ready for this? I'm excited.
Do you want to read? Do you want to read the bits and bobs as we go through as well?
Absolutely. Do you want us all to do it together or just you?
At the same time in unison.
No, let's all do it. Let's all voice act different characters. I'm ready.
Good.
Okay.
There's you. So you.
I'll be Jebro.
All right, you have to be a female Norn. Just saying.
I'll be Frostbite. I think I really got this rolled
No,
on.
you cannot be
I love
Frostbite.
Frostbite. I can be. If we're mandating that Rook cannot be Frostbite, I will take over.
I'm gonna have the VO one as well. Oh, Boots is actually playing the character in the Lightbringers image.
That's right, because and so isn't Era also?
Yes.
Isn't Rook? Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Crew are not.
What?
We're like the opposite.
We're what?
I can voice act my character.
Yes.
Would you all like to split up the other characters?
I can do rocks. I think I do good rocks.
There you go.
I believe in you.
I'm not.
If there are instances.
I can't
of...
read, so
I could empathize with Ram now, but I can't read his voice.
Yeah, you can. You made me do Ritlock.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got vocal notes from that.
It's
Oh
rough.
my
Oh,
God.
it's rough trying to do Ritlock voice. I'm not gonna lie. It's rough. Okay, who's gonna do it? Somebody gotta be Bram.
I'll do Bram, but he's gonna sound dumb.
That's fine. You know what?
Lit. Method acting.
Probably accurate.
Method
Good
acting.
stuff. I will be Jebro, the podcast person.
I heard that Ashley Tisdale method acted for High School Musical. So she was method acting as a high schooler. And I find that bizarre. And that's maybe why everyone
You
hated her
found
on the
that
set
bizarre.
of High School Musical.
I hear that she's still method acting.
But like method acting for High School Musical, the dedication. Anyway.
Thank you so much for that information, Crew.
I heard yesterday and I was flabbergasted. I was like, wow.
Ooh, flabbergasted as well. If you want to say it in the proper way, that's how you say it.
Flabbergasted.
That's it. Thank you. I appreciate the
This is all you. This is all
translation.
you, Crew. It's your first line.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Wow, you actually suck at
I
this.
missed my cue.
Not just Rox was really up to date
Okay,
on
all
Ashley
right,
Tisdale.
wait.
No
let's
time to
get
lose.
the
Plus,
clapperboard
this place
going.
gives me the creeps. I don't like being underground. It's too dark. It's stifling. Are you and that hothead Norn ready? I want to move.
We're ready. Let's go. You did so good. You
Kroof may or may not have had practice writing that exact same line
I had a little bit of practice.
on Tuesday.
I did say Primo, but you know.
Oh, the kabam!
The Bram.
So there is a big achievement in here. If you do want to do it while we're going through the instance, you've definitely got enough time. If you can see on your map specifically, and there is portals back here as well. There are 16 mining nodes in the map. You can see there's one in the northeast part now, so grab that if you want to grab it. And that goes... Oh, you can't hear the Ian's game sound? Oh, okay, well, that would probably be useful.
Indeed.
You might need that or want that. I don't know.
It's okay, we were talking over the top of it anyway.
It's kind of important.
Hey, hey Harbinger, where's my quickness?
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh no! This is the raid build, and it doesn't actually have. It's only when I'm in Shroud.
Wait, what do you mean it doesn't have quickness?
No, it does have quickness. It has the quickness when I'm in Shroud, not when I'm throwing it out.
Oh, you don't have the potion.
I
was like, no one takes
will.
any of the other Grandmasters on Harbinger.
I'll take it. But yeah, so there's the mining node in the east. Did you get that? The northeast one?
I got it, yeah.
And there's more. There's like 16, so.
Okay.
Worth getting as you run around, and it actually makes you explore the instance as well a lot.
I like that. I actually really enjoyed that they did that even in the like supplemental pool of memories things that we got with Almora and everything that had transpired leading up to her death. I really enjoyed that you could go and explore.
Yeah, it was very cool. Also, if you stand behind the tunnel drill, you get burnt.
No, you don't. You're good. Take some stealth.
Last night I was like, oh, you actually do get burnt. I think it was Obi or someone was like, yeah, they told you that. I was like, yeah, I was clearly not paying attention. I was like normal, I'm not paying attention.
Oh, it's on brand.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a little cave.
Yeah, so this is the from the fractal as well. So like this, well, the fractals from this, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, they don't appear for me anymore, right?
What?
The mining nodes.
Yeah, probably.
If you've done
if you want another character.
If you've done it on another character, it does, yeah.
It's character bound.
Oh, okay.
I think so. I guess so. I can see him. I did this.
I can because I'm on another character. I'd be rough if it was account bound.
So if you didn't do the achievement boots, maybe you can carry on and keep doing them.
Oh my gosh, I'm so beefy now. You gave me so much health.
Oh my god, you're so welcome.
Yeah.
Was that in character as Bram?
Kabram.
Beefy Bram.
Yeah. There's another mine node here.
I feel like Bram could open up like a sandwich shop and like he could have his signature sandwich be like the Bramwich.
That would be so good.
That's actually a very good idea, to be honest.
It's the retirement plan.
You should
That's
tell
what he
Bram.
needs to start doing, yeah.
Because,
this is his life goal.
Once the End of Dragons finally ends and the guild has no reason to watch dragons, Bram can just like,
open
sandwich
up a sandwich shop. Maybe he always thought he was supposed to be a fighter, but really in his heart, he really was meant to be a cook.
He didn't need the heat of battle. He needed the heat of the kitchen.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like Rakakuni.
Rakakuni?
Yes! Oh my gosh!
Did you just say Rakakuni?
It's so fucking good.
Isn't it so good?
I'm confused.
So good.
The movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, I still need to watch that. Oh, I really want to see it.
Phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
That's like the one movie I'm not usually like that hype about movies, but I really want to see that one.
You should. It's like probably the best movie I've seen in 10 years.
Boots, your time was there. You had to voice act Bram.
But he already voice acted.
For like 10 seconds.
Oh,
he already voice acted.
I'm gonna need for my immersion all of you to please read the ambient dialogue lines
Yes.
if they don't get voiced. So please and thank
You have to but you have to go up and press F on them and get more dialogue options, which it's like non-consequential dialogue, but it's like, you have to go forward. There's a drill.
Is there extra dialogue right now with them? Hold on. Let me...
I think so.
The Rox is saying, "Stay alert. These underground creatures."
Oh yeah, I hate tunnels. They're so dark. I'll try not to shoot you in the back of the head by accident.
I didn't even notice that one before.
Hey, where's
There's a me for all thing here as well, by the way.
This is eerie. I prefer climbing mountains, not crawling under them. Whoa.
This is my new favorite way to experience Guild Wars 2.
Yes, Bram Presley is now present in the podcast, apparently. Random at the end. You have to do that.
Sandwich. I
You
love
have to
that.
do that, like for the whole thing now.
if one thing I know about Brams is he laughs at his own jokes.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure does.
Graham would be that type of person.
I would turn down this music. It's pretty intense. I always have the music pretty loud when I play these.
Ooh, I'm about to leave all y'all in the dust.
Watch out! We've hit a pocket of... What is that?
Now you sound like a stoner from flipping California. He's just about to go surfing.
As a Californian, I can assure you that is not what we sound like. It's usually like, yeah.
You are not a stoner surfer from California.
I'll have you know.
Unless, like, I mean...
Rookery.
Her little jump back.
There's no valid path to target.
What?
No, you can't pull
What's
through.
up?
You can do it on a willbender, just not on this, I
What do
guess.
you need? What's up?
Do you want to go mine some stuff?
Oh,
Yeah.
Come this way.
not that way.
Oh yeah, the secret way. Let's go. Let's show
The
that.
game said no, ma'am. No, ma'am.
It's gonna actually be a guide. That's true. If you haven't done this, definitely. There's some little hidden bits and bobs. That's true.
I
Here's
still have
our
not found
guide
all
to
the
get
notes.
every single
So-
thing you can find in the new instance from Living World Season 1. I fell down. I'm coming back. Hold on.
Oh, so
Hey
sad.
there, guys. Remember to hit like and subscribe.
I
Ready for another LightBringers guide.
Yes.
We're gonna...
Ready for a lap? Go on, do it. Go on, do it. Boots, go on. Go do the voice.
Oh wait, we just got teleported. What the? Who did this?
Oh no!
I think
did
Kroof went a little bit
Oh,
further.
I didn't get teleported. Good.
You don't get policy. Kroof, calm down.
I
didn't do anything. I just
Oh
walked
my god, I
forward.
can't do this jump apparently. What the hell is wrong with
Oh,
I
that's
just went past the wall.
It's okay. Yeah, there's like 3 nodes over here. This might be where you've not got them, Kroof.
Oh, I already finished it.
Oh, you did
Yeah,
that.
Boots and I did it first time.
Yeah.
Oh, you did the mining nodes.
We
Oh,
were
okay.
on our A
for
game.
gamers.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we collected all the notes though.
Oh, the notes? Yeah,
no,
there's
we did
3
not.
on the tables. They haven't got the outlines on them. No, it's true. Chat, if you see them as we go through, let us know. I can't remember where they are. There's one on the table near the part we're about to do now. I think that's the first one.
Oh, like additional lore stuff?
There's notes on tables, yeah. Well, these notes are, I mean, you pick up the, well, you'll find out when we pick up the first one, unless you want it spoiled
Okay.
now.
No, that's okay. I can wait like
to you.
2 minutes. I can wait not even 2 minutes. I can wait like 30 seconds.
I mean, this next bit isn't short.
Yeah, this is a long instance.
Hey, so let's say we are making a guide, and we are gonna be those people who do like, remember to like and subscribe before the video. And so, what would be our greeting to people watching the LightBringers? Would be like, "Hey there, bringers," or "Hey there." What would it be?
They're bringers. Hope you've all been bringing the light.
Hey
Just say
there,
hello to
lit,
everyone.
lit people.
Are y'all lit?
Oh god.
Are y'all lit? Cause it's the Lightbringers, baby.
I almost
That's it,
died in
that's
this
it.
in this bit. Like this was the hardest part of the instance. Not gonna lie.
It was?
Yeah, because I jumped and then when I I got here and then the thingy came up and I almost died because no one could res me.
Oh, you
Like-
didn't go. You have to go. It's the follow through, Jebro. You got to go through
I did it
it.
too late. I did it too late. So this is the mine and the other node you have to get.
Oh
Rick.
no.
Oh god.
Oh, up there?
Yeah, yeah.
Do I have to
jump.
like wait so that this blows me up into the air?
No. I mean, you could try it if you
If
want.
you stand on the crack, you will get shot up like an updraft.
I did not realize that was such a foolish suggestion.
It was a good one, but it does kill you.
You know, physics would incline you to believe that.
Oh no.
I'm sorry.
Boots,
That was
don't
a
be
bit
bad.
fresh, wasn't it?
Boots, you can do your bad builds, just don't do the bad gameplay.
You got it.
Well, I don't have to go there.
This is gonna be. This is totally worth it. This is, seeing Rook try and get this jump is gonna be fantastic. Get
I'm
swiftness.
incredibly bad at jump puzzles.
Give some
I got it.
swiftness,
I got
people.
it. I got it. I got it.
I feel like swiftness sometimes bites you in the ass.
No, not here. It's good. There you go.
Whee!
Yeah, and you need it. It's really.
All right, we
you've
did it.
got, you've got
everybody.
the flute playing mine thing. Nice. That's
I
fancy.
do.
Everyone's so
I like
fancy.
those. I'm gifted
Just
that
better
to
than
me.
everyone.
Very good. So I'm just better than
Yeah,
everyone.
Obi. This was falsely advertised. Nobody told me that if I did this on the Lightbringers today, there'd be jump puzzles involved to humiliate me. So.
Oh wait, this is a good one. Come down here.
Oh wait, no, there's still more.
There's two.
Oh yeah,
in
there's
this
two over
area.
there
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
But you should probably do the top.
This one first.
Yeah, the one.
Okay,
over
okay.
there.
Oh wait, is there a top one?
No.
There's one. No, it's down below, but it's
One
like
there.
in this corner over here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
I'm already forgetting where everyone is.
whoever's at the front. Follow Tyrol.
Tyrol?
Tyrol? Is that like Tylenol?
It's like Tyrol.
Oh,
I don't know if I
Tyrol.
named it.
Ooh, I
I
like
think
that.
I might have named it after Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, I love it. Very good, very
that's
good.
good.
Oh, my body.
Oh,
If
shit,
anyone
we're burning.
dies, I'll
We're
resurrect you.
This is gonna hurt me.
I'm still dying.
This is gonna hurt me so much. Okay, I made it.
Okay.
Thank you. Kroof literally just saved me. That
Yay.
single target healing. There you go.
I've got it. I've got it. I was just about to say thanks for lighting the way. That in our
Wow.
YouTube videos.
Okay, Rook, you're next. Mommy's gotcha.
Okay, I'm coming. Protect me.
Oh no, you just dodged back into the fire. What? This is
Really?
You need to watch the video for this, everyone. Apparently
this.
Rook really likes fire, so that's something
No,
else.
I just really like allowing Kroof the opportunity to really
Yeah.
frantically lob energy balls at me. I was not expecting how that animation looks. I have not yet tried it. It's very good. Just watching you like just
Like swatting flies.
Alright, you got no. Come.
You have to go around. I gotcha.
You can just
I
see
gotcha.
Rook's character bouncing up the wall.
I got you, man. Heal me. I'm made of glass.
There's another one
Yay.
over this direction.
Yeah, we have to go into
Is
the
it also in the
lava.
fire?
Yes.
Yay.
All right, teamwork makes the dream work.
I will be the chaperone. It's like a school
Thank
trip. It's like, oh, you have the cool mom.
Makes it happen. Cooperation. Working together. Dig it.
Okay, you ready, peeps? Go.
I think it's a reference I don't know.
I really need just a clip of that. Just
That
to
is
use
a-
it
Oh no,
outside.
you do have to go from up top because it's up there.
Yeah.
Like, see, I was right. I was
Wow.
right. I've got to say,
Oh,
I've got to say.
God.
I'm-
Well done,
Oh my
Jebro. Well done,
You know what? We really screwed that one up, didn't we?
Well,
we
you
really
all
messed
did.
that up. That was our bad.
All
You
of
know
it.
what? We
All of
really
it.
goofed it.
By the way, that is a 1990s Sesame Street.
I was wondering where that was from.
That's perfection.
It's there's people digging holes in a garden, and they're working together. And
Too.
I should have got Mesmer. I could have
amazing.
portaled people. Damn.
they
Didn't
sing a
think about
song called
Oh, I
Cooperation.
could portal too.
I like the cooperation
Cooperation.
song.
Makes it happen. Cooperation, working together.
Oh,
dig
blinking.
it.
it. If you are listening to this audibly, wherever you are, thank you very much for literally listening to us talking crap right now as we play
What are you
through
talking
this.
about? Is this not?
I just read Zeno's comment in the chat. Jump in the lava, Rook. It'll shoot you up.
Oh my god.
You know what?
Just
I think
jump.
it might. I think it might.
Oh, you got to come over here. Where you going?
I'm
trying.
messed up.
No, no,
Oh, I
no,
messed
no.
up. So don't do what I did.
No, I was talking to Boots. I was looking at Boots.
I'm done already. I'm done already.
I will guide the
Boots
peeps.
is like leagues ahead of me. Boots
I'm
is
like-
like in a whole
I'm
other
gonna-
class of player.
Oh no, don't fall like I did.
I'm gonna go talk to Bram.
Yeah, you
go
have to like
figure the
jump
instance.
into the wall.
Oh, nailed it. Good job. Good job.
First try.
Boots, you come here often.
You got it?
I wasn't a Sura
Got
when I
it.
first did this, so I can actually see things. Okay, now we're just going across. So, 3, 2, 1,
Oh my gosh,
go.
Boots, why'd you go inside?
I went inside because I thought it might teleport them, and then it's everything.
Actually,
No.
it might. Maybe.
Yeah, but Rook's missed the thing, the story.
Wow, my immersion in its
Sorry.
System.
It keys without range.
Oh, I
the
did
fire
pause.
better.
There we go.
As if that will save it. As if. Begin the test now.
Okay, we gotta jump.
My immersion is restored.
You have mended my experience.
This is the
Well.
one part of the instance where I was like, yeah.
This is actually really good training for strike missions. So
It really is, and all of the content. There's so much content in End of Dragons that uses this.
there's so
specific-
much.
This is the
Y'all,
first
there's
time
so
it was
much
introduced,
content.
by the way.
Yeah, I think so.
Did y'all know there's so much content?
Like
This is the original
jumping.
first time that the jumping was introduced. The shockwave mechanic was introduced.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, you could jump over things?
Yeah, I don't think I realized that for a long time. I think I was just running builds to get more vigor. And I was just like, wow, you need to dodge a lot. And then was like, yeah, well, you can also just stand under one, I guess. There's an achievement in the fractal. There is an achievement in the fractal, isn't there, to do that?
Hit the core.
I've got that. Yeah, I got hit in the middle.
Bring it up.
So I did this story mission, and it took me 15 minutes to realize that I had to attack the core. So
No.
I was playing this for 15 minutes, like, why is nothing changing? Is this bugged? And then I was like, oh, there's a giant button in the middle.
Well,
A
you
little
do.
icon above it,
true.
but it's hard to see. It looked like it was almost like halfway down into it. If they like elevated it so that it actually was up above, it was like a green marker, but it seems like it's kind of like glitched down
doesn't-
inside of it as though
Yeah.
it's targeting the actual core itself.
It doesn't actually tell you what to do in this bit. Normally it does. But like, it actually doesn't tell you. It just says survive, and it's like, well,
Yeah.
like, and
Be
it says
good.
kill it, but like, what, where?
I mean, that's kind of fun. It leaves you the question of how do I avoid it? Do I dodge roll? Oh, I'm out of energy. What do I do next? Like, see there's like green cross marks, like green cross swords.
It's like
but they-
inside.
they're
Yeah.
inside,
Oh,
and they
yeah,
need to be
they are
up above
inside.
the
Oh,
core.
yeah. It's the Asura bug from Ender Dragons where you're wearing the mace. Because if you wear the new mace for engineer and you've got a commander tag on, your commander tag appears inside your head or just above your head, and then when you take that one piece of armor off, or the mace, I can't remember which one, it actually just like flickers back up in the air. Really weird.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So weird.
Bring back
Weird
the
bug.
long cat bud. That was so much fun.
That was because
Oh,
of this.
yeah.
That was because of season 1. I'm pretty sure. And the article was like suggested. Ooh, lots of fire there.
So many AoEs.
Oh no.
Yeah, this felt a little bit unnecessary. The length of this part of the instance, actually, just the whole
Yeah.
the whole instance felt a little bit long-winded. To be fair.
For the fractal, it's fun because it's dangerous.
And you get rewarded.
The
Yeah.
nice thing too, though, is that again we're talking about like
Ooh, core.
teaching players something, right? So
Yeah.
I do think that like for veteran players, yeah, like moving out of the things
Very
is
true.
probably pretty. But like having that idea of like, oh, okay, so like here are some visible markers for me to like really register and see, and the jump, stuff that I'm doing, like I can forgive it. I can forgive it.
No, you're dead on. You're actually right. Like the new player experience, I think like the instance might be a little bit long-winded. They could definitely have like shortened this to teach them a little bit more succinctly, I suppose. But like maybe repetitiveness helps people to learn, which is a thing. But like you're right. For sure, like that you actually learn a lot there, like jumping mechanic over AoE, dodging,
I think
AoE.
it's a fine balance of trying to like teach people, but also not make it feel like it is a chore. And even for the strike missions, I feel like if a fight is super long, there should be many more interesting mechanics that are discovered throughout the fight, rather than just like a huge like health bar boss with like very few mechanics.
Here you
Because
go.
it does feel like you gotta have that balance.
There is the first letter here, or one of them, where I'm standing.
Oh, it
Where?
doesn't even have a thing above
Nope,
it.
they don't have any
Oh.
outline or anything.
Oh.
Nice.
So they
wait,
talk
so I
about
didn't know
B
you did
here
these.
as well, and you can read it if you want.
I see.
And then-
Sneaky.
Yeah, this is about what is happening in the actual instance, like the construction of the boss, the thingies at the end, and I'm not gonna
I
say
gotcha.
too much.
There's a
Torn
note.
page.
There's a note over here.
Torn page from Kostya's lab. Do you want me to read it out loud?
Yeah, absolutely.
go
Go
for
for it if you want to.
Gigarg has us following orders from some strange lady named B. None of us have seen her, but Vova swears she
Oh,
heard
well,
them
Tio,
laughing
Tio, Tio,
together.
You've got to do it in the voice of the guy who was just here, the scientist.
That will be unbearable.
Let's do it.
Yeah, but that's
This is
not the
actually
that's not the scientist. This is just like some random person who has been
It's
enslaved.
probably the scientist.
No, this was definitely the
Wait,
Is this
scientist.
the
It is
scientist?
the
Are you sure?
scientist, really?
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
for sure.
Okay, all right, I'm going. All right, you're right. It's the costume. All right. I'm gonna try. Yigarg has us following orders from some strange lady named Bee. None of us have seen her, but Vova swears she heard them laughing together deeper in the mines. She's only been in the facility once or twice, but it'd be nice to put a face behind, well, all of this. Now that Gigarg's armor is complete and Rodion's transfusions have settled, apparently Bee is sending them to the surface while the rest of us continue to work on the machine prototype. Vova and Gigarg are no longer on good terms, arguing over resources and constantly bickering about his newfound friendship with Rodion. Vova is worried that Gigarg is lost to us. I think she's afraid of him. I feel like I should be afraid. But all I can smell is the burnt skin of prisoners dancing over metal grates. It was fun for a week or two, but even I'm tired of taking orders from mysterious laughter.
Perfect.
Sorry.
Amazing.
It's just the way you said it. It sounded like you were lamenting, like it was a really good thing. It's like, that sounds horrible. It's like,
Look, I'm doing method acting.
That's
It's
very
a character
good.
study.
that was very good.
Okay, follow me, Rook. There is a mine for you to mine.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna mine it.
Mine a mine.
Mining in a mine? Revolutionary.
Right, indeed.
Revolutionary.
Acting.
Over by you?
Yeah, go
Like I
down
go
there.
over
That's
here,
it. Yeah.
and then I go to here, and then okay.
Instance is actually pretty good as well. It reminds me a little. It looks like the whole feeling of the instance is pretty cool. I like it. And then one thing I got reminded about was Bram's like mace and shield and how you could buy that. You could buy that.
Boots was talking about the same exact thing on Tuesday.
You're talking
Yeah,
about
when
his
that-
mace and shield.
Well, when the 2-week long the thing dropped, like he all of a sudden had a mace and shield for the first time, like a really nice one, and then it was also in the gem store at the same time, and everyone was like, "Oh, we're buying this."
But that was the first. I think those were the first ever kind of weapon skins that you could buy
Yeah.
off the Black Lion trading post. And I bought that pack because I loved the shield because there wasn't many.
to keep moving. If I stop for too long, I start thinking about what
No.
they've done to the captives here. The things I could do with that anger.
Are you like? What is this
happening
mafioso?
right now?
Like,
What is this
Oh
happening?
my god!
Mafioso
Sounds like
mob boss.
Sylvester Stallone. Right. Okay. Let's carry on. There are pages in here as well, and there's free. So there's the pages, but there are corpses of prisoners that basically have written. They have notes on them that they've written to people. So we've got to make sure we find the people who are dead on the floor.
That's a
Aw,
big
rip.
bummer.
But
sad. Love your
when
hair,
you
hope
pick
you
up
win.
the notes, you get to do something pretty cool with them. So I'm really glad people pointed this out last night because there was actually some interesting little bits and bobs. It was just
I'm guessing you take them to the people that survived them.
yeah,
kind of thing, and then-
basically, yeah. I take it to their families and different people and stuff. But they're in the core world, so it's like it's part of the achievements as well, which is good. Have we missed any, chat? I don't think so. But that was a
Notes.
cool little
Yep.
addition. Not
Yeah,
notes
I
yet, but the corpses. Sorry.
I think that even just having this, we're talking about the length of it, right? But I'm
Yeah.
kind of glad that it really does feel like here is the big thing from this, you know, like here is this big culminating moment and what it means for like both Rox and Bram to be going through here and like trying to stop this threat and the suspense that it's building and the ways that you can kind of see the effects that those who have survived are feeling, so that the impact of what Scarlet is doing is felt even more strongly over the course of the season. I actually kind of like that better than this have been like some really short little thing that like you go, oh wait, the episode's over, you know, like
This
Yeah.
is definitely quicker with people. Like this was
Yeah.
originally,
Yes, much faster.
this was originally. We were talking about this last night. It was a dungeon, right? I think people were talking about, and like, it was a. You could queue up for as a dungeon.
Letter
or,
in the
like,
room next.
I don't know. Oh, actually, I think we just missed one. Yeah.
Oh, it's back
Yeah,
here.
and then
Behind the pipe.
Oh, more enemies.
Over here, maybe? Oh, yeah, here. Here's one. Here's one of the notes
Okay.
where I'm standing. It was a dungeon. Yeah, that's right. So, like, you actually did do it as a group of people. I can't remember if you had to queue for it as a dungeon or if you could do it solo.
Oh, like it was like a sort of open world kind of dungeon?
Like
almost,
the
where
dungeons
you
that
could
we've
just-
got have,
I see.
you know, when you can do the where you pop like the instances in the Christmas events and stuff, like where you go towards it and this is like 5 players or whatever, and it pops up. I think it was that style of dungeon.
I'm guessing this is another. Is this another dredge or is it
It's
the same?
one of the notes like before, but there you go.
it'll say at the top probably.
It
who's
just
it
says
from.
Rodion's blood transfusion results.
There you go. You can read it if you want.
This says Vastia's already looking for more candidates. Okay, so this must be a different
It's a
different
different
dredge.
one.
One
It's a
of
different
the
one, yeah.
people that was working then. Okay, so I'll make sure to differentiate very clearly. All right.
All right, good.
Thank you so much for your
for your
for
Like,
professionalism.
I just needed to know for the immersion
Yeah.
and for the
Oh, that's
experience that we're
fine.
building.
I
Yeah.
We need to
mean,
have the
yeah.
voice direction notes. Like, what's the setting? What's the tone? How
Yeah,
am
we
I
need to get one of the
feeling?
story people in there. Where is Bobby?
What are my motivations?
You want a cheese sandwich?
Oh, okay, that's powerful. That's powerful. I love a good cheese
Do
sandwich.
you
Okay.
know how powerful cheese sandwiches are? I don't think you do. Okay.
They're
go.
really good though. Okay. Rodion was the largest char I'd ever seen, even before that dredge finished the transfusion. Prior to the alliance, he made all of us look weak. Gaharin held Rodion's strength above all else. He could have been our— Oh, this is a char!
This
Dang
is a
it! you
char.
all
This is a
heard me.
char.
Hey, it could be a char.
I mean, I guess, but that's gonna be a wacky sounding char. You know what I mean?
Half
Oh,
char,
okay.
half scrit.
We're gonna retake. Okay.
I enjoyed it.
Prior to the alliance,
Do
he
it,
made all
Locke.
of us look weak. Gaharin held Rodion's strength above all else. He could have been our next imperator, but now I don't even recognize him. The procedure took 3 days. We didn't even think he was going to make it after enduring that much blood loss, but when he woke up, his blood ran blue. The crimson ember that ran through his veins like magma, now icy and cold. Gaharin is probably moving mountains in the mists out of spite. I'm scared. What are we doing here? Bastia is already looking for more candidates, and I will not be the first in line.
That's one line I want to be at the back of.
Chill him.
Beauty.
No, thank you.
Okay. There is. I think there's one more of those. Oh, is there 6? I can't remember.
There's like 6 or something.
Oh, there's 3 here, and there's 3 in the first instance. You do
Oh,
the
I
core,
didn't do that.
the core one. With
Oh, I see. Prisoners.
Yeah,
Oh.
so yeah, there's one prisoner dead. That's the first one in that thingy over there. So you have to do a mini jump, Brooke. Okay.
Just a mini.
It's just a tiny baby jump.
Oh, like onto the stairs? Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
That one's just a mini one.
One at a time.
There is no,
No
pressure.
pushing. You're gonna hit the door. I was like, oh no!
Make sure we all go towards the corpse. Search it. It's the body
got
of
a
a fallen
memento.
prisoner. It lies here.
Desiccate the body.
There you go. Desiccate. Jesus Christ.
Try it out.
I don't
Try
think
it
Secret
there is.
evidence,
I
sir.
don't think there is anything unless there's something that pops up in your inventory. It's just a little mini achievement, and then when you go to the achievements, there's a bit here. Or is it? Oh no, I picked the wrong one.
This is what we came for. Focus. I don't know what the, I don't know what the
God.
context of that was. I don't know.
Oh, no,
can't
I
remember
just
where
clicked
the
on her.
achievements are. But anyway, you can go to the achievements for the episode, and it will tell you where to go for to hand in each of those notes to peeps.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so it's pretty good. But like, you know,
That's really fun.
but you can't, unless you read the achievements or go and literally explore things, you're not gonna know anything about these things. But which is, you know, the way achievements are kind of done in this game, right?
Yeah, and I mean, there are a lot of games that do like kind of expect that you, I don't know, engage with an achievement interface to some extent. Like making it more prevalent and something that I think like new players would be introduced to really clearly would help a lot. But I know that there are a lot of, I mean, like even ESO and stuff, right? Where I just know now, I'm like, oh, I really like actually some of the, you know, post-expansion achievements. So what do they have and what do they want me to do? And I should probably go around and do this or that. Like, I do enjoy that.
Yeah, for sure. Chat, you may need to remind you if we forget some bits here. I know there's some stuff under ramps and things like that.
Oh, there's mithril.
Mithril.
There's a mithril ore over here.
There's one up, yeah, that's it.
One giant.
The prisoners who have been here for so long are like, why are you mining right now? Like, come on, dude.
They're like, wow. You're mining in front of me, in front of my salad? Wow.
Yeah. I like these kind of, I like a lot of this instance, just I don't know, it's pretty cool.
It's good. I also really love this. I was thinking about this earlier because the fact that like Bram and Rocks were introduced together and that you have these like kind of dual threats and the Char and the Norn, like I really do feel like it sets up some great parallels down the road for a lot of the storytelling that will happen even later with, you know, the first time Primordus almost rises. And then the Icebird Saga, when they again kind of re-examine that parallel between the Char and the Norn in a sense. Like, I don't know. I find it interesting to see that fire-ice dichotomy sort of represented multiple times throughout the game.
It's very true, actually. It's very true. And it's a bit like that. You actually get to hear a little bit about, I think about like the reasons why the Dredge and them kind of got together, or they kind of talk about the lava and like the Char and these Char specifically, and how, you know, the Dredge like the lava flowing through their bodies and all this kind of stuff, and there's bits and pieces in a bit. We'll go and have a look at that. But
they like it toasty.
Yeah, they do. They like fire. And this is where
sounded like my childhood.
One thing I was wondering if or like people knew or not. So you know the gloves they have here? I think it's the same effect as you see. I don't actually know if it's the same effect you get from the achievement armor. I can't remember. I think the armor's different, but if you notice, the weapons are the fused skins, the Black Lion skin. I don't know if they brought those skins in with this or if they just put them on the enemies. Like, I can't remember.
I can't remember either, but they look good.
Yeah, they're awesome skins. I can't remember them. Like, some of the most expensive in the game, actually, as well.
Well, I know the fused gauntlets were a reward for... I think they were a random drop from the bosses at the end of this.
Was that? Oh, was it so the metal ones with the kind of fire? It was like a ember kind of shaped thing on your hand that kind of just went around it.
Oh. Can you get them from the fractal with like a rare drop, or
you can get them through these achievements, I believe.
The achievements is the shoulders.
Talking about the fused gauntlets?
Oh,
and
really?
No, but you can also get the fused gauntlets with an achievement.
In the old one?
I love that.
Yeah, I believe you can. I saw the gauntlets and also the shoulders via these achievements.
I remember buying them off of the trading post, I think.
You can get them through the Ceturus, I think. But like the gloves might be the old ones, they're not in the new ones. The shoulders
might not be in the new ones. You can get some type of flame looking glove and shoulder. And the glove too, let me see.
No, not in the new ones.
Defense, then offense.
I can't even remember where the achievements are.
The achievement Alliance Breaker. You get fused gauntlets.
Wait, where's that?
In the story journal, Jebro.
Oh, I missed this one completely. Oh no, wait, really? Oh no, I missed this one completely. What?
The more you know.
Oh, dude, I've got them. I've already got them though. Screw that.
Where would the achievement be? What do you mean, Kroof? There's no way.
I thought I'd done them all. I thought I'd done them all because I got the thingy-majig. I haven't done them all. Wait, is this the old one or the new? Oh, this is the old one.
Are you okay, Jeb?
No.
Yeah.
Are you having a crisis?
It is the same one. I didn't know that.
Right there?
Oh, I completely missed that last night. I love the skins and stuff. I'm just sad that I missed it. Thank you. Sorry, Kroof. I apologize.
You better get on your
I
knees.
just like insisted that it definitely wasn't there. Oh wait, we've missed the body. We've missed the body.
Oh no. Oh, it's behind here. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Chris.
Oh, good catch.
Apologies.
Oh my gosh, that's me.
Feel bad now. That was like definitely. I will listen to Griff. Griff is right. He's right.
I'd say 90% of the time I know what I'm talking about.
So
Other 10%, I make it up. I lie.
I looked at that many times. I just didn't see it. Like my brain just doesn't click all the time. There is another orichalcum ore in there as well.
Oh wait, back down there in that little hidden spot.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Behind the ramp is the body. Yeah, to get the thing off. Sorry, I thought you were there.
Oh no, I got the body.
I thought.
I was like,
oh right, yeah. The ore is there.
Yeah, the
in
ore's over
background.
here.
So can you see
place-
the name of the ore there? Maybe I've got a setting on that other people don't.
Oh, you probably turned off a setting.
Oh, I mean, I can
We're turned on one
like
now.
get it. Yeah, I can pull it up.
I just gotta say, I really love this environment, and I'm glad that they are fractals, but I kind of want to come back here and like have that Asuran-esque experience of like going deeper into the mines and the underground.
I literally did this last night. Bram, you did not res me. You did not res me, Bram. You mother flipper. I was like gonna watch Rook do it and then laugh, but then actually I did it.
Oh, but
I actually got. I got super lucky because I did not remember that feature and I just clung to the wall. Not again.
Start again.
How's
I got
it going?
you.
You're doing okay.
When you're a Spectre,
End of the
just
week.
simply press F1 and they can get resurrected immediately.
Painful.
Onward.
I don't know where the other body is. We got one more body and maybe one more thing. I can't remember. I think there.
Nothing can bring me down.
You may have missed one.
Possible. It's possible.
Have we missed? Oh, there's a body over here. Prisoner. Last body.
Oh.
The bodies hit the.
Good catch.
The bodies at the flow. Old YouTube. Okay, every time I was like 10 or 8 or something, but
I saw
the
them
culture
live
of
when they
old
came out.
YouTube was so weird. Like Rick rolls, but also every time you'd watch a video, I used to watch like a bunch of Wizard 101 and World of Warcraft videos, and if a video started with like that, let the bodies, I knew instantly to turn off the sound because like the speakers, the family speakers, it'd just be blasting. Oh, I hated those videos, but looking back, it kind of is iconic. It was a moment in time. Yeah.
So good that there's a piece of paper on the thingy here.
We freed this guy? Okay. Paper time.
Rook's like, I want to free you again. I just enjoy freeing people so much.
I'm just making sure everybody is definitely free. I would feel really bad if like one person got left behind and everybody else got freed from these mines.
It's
So
okay, the police are here to help us, so it's fine. I just heard the police in the background.
Did Kroof just die?
I think that this is okay.
It's a
Yeah,
different
no.
person again, I think.
This is a dredge. I think this is a dredge, so this time we can use our voice. All right. Gigard has our brothers and... Nope, that was wrong.
That was great. You couldn't get going with that, actually.
Okay.
Your God has our brothers and sisters.
Please.
No, that's not. No, that was.
mean-
I was doing you doing that. That was a British version of a dredge.
It was a British dredge. Oh my God.
Gigog has our brothers and sisters running around. No, okay. Gigog has our brothers and sisters running around like headless chickens, forging massive plates of iron and Delgemore steel for his own armor. He's getting on better than expected with the Flame Legion, already looking down on us like things to be bossed around. Has he forgotten who we are? How we suffered? Or does his heart beat with a newfound thirst for power over others? He and Vostya thrive, while many of us are left to clean up the messes left behind by their failed experiments.
That doesn't sound very socialist.
So this is making me feel like I need to do like some kind of D&D around Guild Wars 2. Because like,
I mean, yeah,
that would be
absolutely.
absolutely amazing.
I just have to
That
say
was
that was
a thought.
incredible.
That was
Because
a thought that I've had for a very long time.
Well,
that
we
I need
need
to have a
someone
D&D
who-
theme.
Oh my
yeah.
god,
Yeah.
Boots, you can bring back your roleplay videos.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
Did you do
what?
role playing videos?
I think I went back and I watched just one. I need to go
I
back
need
and watch
to know
it.
this immediately.
No,
Did you do
it
role playing
was
videos?
it was like the most half-assed thing in the world. It was like fake role play.
How?
It
What? No, fake roll.
Yeah.
You were just being funny.
Yeah, just being
Silly.
funny. Just being funny.
Yeah,
So
I'm not being funny.
and it wasn't that funny.
It wasn't
You
that
got
funny.
Jeb. You got it.
I am currently role playing though in my fishing.
I know, I
Time.
saw actually. That's very interesting.
I love it. I love me some role playing.
Have we missed anything? I know the mining ore is what towards the end. Have we missed any ore though? Have we missed any letters or anything else? I feel like we may have missed
Will I
it.
get the achievement after I leave?
For which one?
For whatever
the
we're doing.
bodies, you won't get that one. You won't get the notes because there was only 3, and the other 3 are in the core map, the first one, the Ritlock instance. There's 3 notes on the tables. We can go back and get those.
Oh.
And there is 3 bodies here. You can check if you check your achievements. So there's 3 notes here, and I can't remember how many.
I have 3 molten memorials.
Yep, that's right.
I have.
And 3 notes.
Let me see. We are missing 2 ore nodes.
Okay, there's one. There's
Hey
one.
guys, could you
at
come
the
down
end
and
here.
res me?
Don't
Absolutely not.
go. We need to get one more.
Oh.
One more ore then.
Oh no.
We missed an ore.
I'm missing 1 bloodied journal entry from the molten furnace.
Boots, I don't know if I can
wonder-
F1 res that.
I wonder if one
gonna
of
res
the
me?
bodies is that. Well, that's one of the bodies, is it? Or is it? What is that? What is that one, Rick? Sorry.
It
Do you have a
says.
return to checkpoint, Boots?
There is no ability for me to do that.
Oh, Boots, no.
Boots, why are you going ahead? Fuck.
I didn't go ahead. I jumped off of the
Oh,
bridge.
that's technically. Okay, I'm gonna see if we can find where the more other ore thing is.
What was it? Ready or not? Is that what it was called?
Not.
Ready or not. 2 ore nodes, node 15 and node 16. 15 and 16.
Okay, 16 is right. Do you see the ore node? There's one right ahead of me right now, actually. I think I know which one you didn't get. It was the one under the ramp.
Hey, Rogue Jebro, can you come res
I
us?
went for the one under the ramp, though.
No, there's a different one. That was the body.
Oh. Oh, you're right. Oh yeah, I don't think I got an ore underneath
Yeah.
a ramp.
We'll get you this one now.
Okay, I'm coming back.
I mean, I gotta say, you have some like really strong calves boots because those leg muscles are holding the entire body up against gravity.
I think actually like half my body is inside. No, you're right. You're right. It is my leg muscles. It's rigor
Teleport
mortis
to
though.
friend,
It's
yeah.
not the muscles. it's the
Yeah,
rigor mortis.
yeah, that's true.
Oh my good lord. What did you do? You both died? I didn't actually die in
well-
this instance, just saying.
We're
If we all die,
testing things.
There's
We
a
can't
checkpoint.
do-
We have
we
to
can jump
start the
into
boss.
lava.
Yeah, we have to start the boss there, I think.
Okay.
That's the
Or
nearest
maybe
checkpoint.
just die.
My char looks so dramatic. My char looks like-
Trying to find this.
She's like, oh, how could you have told me that?
Bloody journal is in the prison area? I thought we got that one. We got the one where the person's in the little hovering thing.
Yeah, I'm missing 1 journal.
How about what, sorry?
We just do this another time.
Oh, we were doing it along the way. It's fine. We're gonna get him done. We're gonna get it done for Rick now. We've got patience. Hey, you've been talking about random stuff all the time. If you're in a rush, you should have said. Look,
Oh, I would maybe
I'm
just
so
give me a little
sorry
rest.
that my first fresh experience here is such a burden to all of you.
yeah, honestly.
Wow,
Come on,
I
people.
thought we play with friends. I have a great.
Y'all heard of a
time.
widow's peak? This is a.
I love it. I think that's a great look for you, honestly.
What's
Okay, well
beyond
we've
a
got
widow's
the we
peak?
got the ore. I don't know whether
Or
that,
check.
the ore is a check. Have we got the other? So the body, I'm not sure which one we missed. I know we got them all.
Well, I mean, the other thing is, I also haven't done this achievement yet, and I would like to do it.
Oh, Boots,
but I'm
why
dead.
didn't you just do it?
Wait, what achievement?
Get the notes and stuff like that.
The notes. It was
I thought,
a
like-
thingy node.
Well, here, do you want us just to jump off?
The nodes,
yeah,
the nodes
because-
I've done. The nodes I've done.
Yeah, it
Because
was
I
just a
think
note.
the 3 notes were in the Ritlock instance, so I think we got all of them.
Okay.
There's 3 notes and there's 3 reports. Like
Let
from
me
the
try
I
people.
think I got, yeah.
So
Molten.
what is it, Morton?
I don't drink a lot of carbonated stuff, and it hurts.
Not investigative study. Bloodied journal entry, molten furnace is the one that I see. Bloodied journal entry, molten furnace.
Okay, let's have a look.
Yeah, I've done 3 of the investigative study things.
Okay. I have 7 out of. Oh yeah, that's the investigative study.
I've done 3 of the molten memorial.
That's right.
The bloody
Yep.
journal entry might be ahead of us. I don't know, because it's the last one.
I think there's only one. Oh, is it the last one? Maybe it is.
Yeah.
I thought I'd visited 3 bodies. Definitely. There's the one in the cage that we jumped across to. There's the body behind under the ramp.
Yep.
And there was the one which was up the ramp
On that,
to the
like,
right with
ledge.
the little ledge, and that was the only 3. So if we got all,
Yeah.
if you got all of those, that's the only 3 there is, as far as I remember. So I think we've got them all. The other 3 which are empty are when you hand them in, basically.
So the
Oh, I
final,
see. Okay.
the final thing in this is a fused gear. It's like this accessory,
Yeah.
sentinel stats. It looks like.
So the accessory is apparently a part of the future episodes. You get 1 for each episode, and they combine the collection to get an ascended item, which is a question mark, which we don't know what it is.
Oh.
Okay.
But it's that. Well, that's what I was told. Anyway, I haven't actually
Are
seen
they
it.
giving us another legendary?
Yeah.
Well, look at there is another achievement to do 20 events. So they've built the achievement similar to the Return 2, right? Which is a really good idea. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's a whole thing, you know.
I mean, I wouldn't mind another legendary. Maybe a legendary piece of armor. Maybe a whole set of legendary armor. That'd be great.
Oh, that would be so good. I would love it.
I just
So we have to go
realised
back to the prisoner area, I think is what people are saying.
we are. I think we've got all of those. You've got all of the notes and stuff.
Well, Machiel says the bloody journal is in the prisoner area. I'm looking at a screenshot.
Oh, okay. Oh. Okay. I don't know where that screenshot is, but yes, we are currently going backwards.
It's back here. So, like the prisoner area is back towards where we were.
I think that's. If it's
Gotta go back.
Yeah, this is it. It's that one over there where the cages are.
Oh, like here. I see.
So what is it you're missing here then? Has it got a picture?
Bloodied journal. Bloodied journal.
And that's one of the things that the prisoners drop? Because that's the thing here
Oh,
inside
it's
this.
here. I found it. It's tucked
Oh.
around the side over here by one of these
So
cells.
maybe Boots and Crew do need this.
You might. If you don't have the journal entries, you might.
have it.
Okay, then we'll reset.
Okay.
If only you could GG in instances.
That'd be so nice.
Alright, let's jump down and see where we
They have to
Okay.
start from the start again.
Swan dive.
A
have
swan
to start from the
dive.
start. I'm not. Oh, it's oh wow, I did the whole thing. That was good.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no,
did you
Brad's
sit
gonna
down?
arrest me! I just got teleported! No way!
You didn't.
Quickly, Jebro, kill yourself. Quickly.
How?
Rock,
I-
you monster! Stop resurrecting me! Leave me dead! Leave me! Leave me here!
Oh my god, we have to go all the way over
Let
there.
me die! Let me die!
No! No, you can't. It's not gonna work.
Let me go! Let me go! I just wanted to.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh no.
Wait. So where are your bodies? How did you die successfully?
We landed on a big metal pipe. It instantly killed
okay.
us.
Oh, great. Okay, well, let's,
We'll try and
let's
run
go.
over to you. Yay.
Nothing can bring me down.
You could like jump off the side into the lava probably.
We did.
We
It kept
tried.
resetting us.
We
It kept
got
putting us
ported.
back up on
Oh,
ledges.
you must have
and
not like fallen far
killing
enough.
us.
No, I fell all the way to the bottom.
No, we.
I was like, what?
No, but after a certain stretch, you just instantly die.
No, we got ported. We got ported back.
What?
I did
Yeah.
die once, but then rocks appeared next to me and started rezzing me.
Weird.
That's strange.
So, well, actually, if you're a new player and you die, probably pretty good, actually. Like, cause that would
Oh, we're
suck
not
if
going
you
the
had
right
to-
way.
Oh
We're
shit!
not
No,
going the
we're
right
not.
way to go
We're not
back
going the right way. at all.
But you're gaining height. Jump off the ledge.
Oh my god, what is happening? This may have gone a little bit longer than I expected it to, but that's okay. We're
I
having
would
fun.
love if they put in, I mean, it brings up a good point though, like, especially if they're going to have longer story instances like this, kind of like how in Raid Wings, there are those little, like, you know, go to the graveyard, go to the, it would be so nice if, like, periodically throughout an instance like this, where you might be working on achievements, there could be something that would pop up that would be like, go to the prisoner cells, go to the, and you
Yeah.
could just teleport around inside of it. It'd be so nice.
That would be cool. This place is pretty big.
This place is huge.
Yeah.
Feels
We
like it's bigger than a
coming.
guild hall.
Might makes
It probably is, you think?
Yeah.
I feel like it must be.
Oh, this place is definitely bigger than Guildhall. Vertically, for sure. Happy Friday, indeed. How's Chad doing? Appreciate your, I was gonna say patience, but you're getting entertained by 4 awesome people, so.
I hope our nonsense has made you smile a little today. Or facepalm a little, you know.
We've definitely had a very, like, it's been a day of mixed emotions, that's for sure. We've had
My gosh, yes.
We've had some,
Yeah.
we've definitely had that today. I love it.
Those
This is
made
why I
me
like
tear
this.
up.
Yes, yes, exactly. So, yeah, definitely.
From the right way.
Those stories, we don't often hear those stories, even, you know, of people. It's always good to know. Nice to know more about peeps.
I love clipping the camera through your character models and just seeing like the half globe eye with like the tongue and the teeth. It's so scary.
It's more
Well,
scary on the
prisoners are hanging
servers.
out.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're like, hey, we've been here a long time. Can you
Where
please
are you?
hurry
Oh,
up?
your body
Jump down.
here. Okay, okay.
We're having a great party. Oh wow.
Oh
Damn.
my god, it put me back up top.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we're all
We
here.
did
We're
it.
all here.
We did it.
Finally, boss fight.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can't go back now and get the thing.
What thing?
The thing you
The
needed.
journal entry that we needed.
Well, we
journals?
can probably like fight this first and then go
I
back.
don't know.
Instance,
The
yeah.
path goes away.
Oh, that's okay.
No, you can still go back. I think.
I mean, I'm not going to
You should
spoil
be.
it as to why. Maybe you can't do that, but
Either way, I mean, it might come back up again. It might come back up again.
let's kill the boss.
I am so happy that they reworked this. I feel like I actually understand these two's, like, what is happening with them.
Yeah.
And, like, why they are villainous and why we should be afraid and, like, the injection of the... I mean, are we assuming they injected this char with what? Like,
It's the lava.
Mountain Dew.
It's the lava.
It was a McDonald's Sprite.
It's the power of like the flame legions, like,
Power
and
of
the
love.
dredge, like combined or something. I don't know. But like they
know,
talk
it's
about in those
interesting.
notes, right?
well, they do, but they say that the char's,
I know, but-
like, molten blood turns, like, cold and blue, which
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
me
yeah.
think of Jormag,
Oh, that's
of all
true.
things.
Oh, I like the McDonald's Sprite idea.
I do like that. I do think that
McDonald's
one is good.
Sprite. I saw a picture of it, and there were like so many bubbles in it, and the caption was, "Ma'am, that's a hand grenade," and I agreed with it.
I actually really enjoy these. See, that backpack was a reward from the season 1 achievements as well.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so that was like a thing that people really wanted. Oh no, it was a rare drop actually, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Might have been a rare drop. And I think it was just from random mobs. I don't think it was from anything specific. I can't remember. I really wanted it for an engineer later on. And now you can buy it with statuettes. just buy it from statuettes. Like, yep.
I mean, I'm glad that it was still in the game as something that you could get at least if you hadn't
Yeah.
played. Like,
It was
I think
rare.
moving it there was probably a smart move, all things considered. But I love that they put some of the other rewards in gear. Like Crew pointed out with the achievements for this. That's really a great idea.
It's back up. It's back up. Go, go, go.
Yay!
Don't go across the other way.
Okay, that wasn't so bad.
What was about the
We
spoilers?
got it. I'm gonna listen to this dialogue though first.
Yes, sorry, we will. I'll go and do that. You both actually
Boots, come with
go.
me.
Boots, go with Criff because you've seen this.
Where is it?
Keep
Just
going.
general area.
Just keep going back, and I'll tell you.
Okay.
Blow this place up. What about you? Me?
I'll be over there by the door. Let's just say explosives and me, we don't get along.
Did you hear that, Rick?
Yeah.
Explosives and me don't get along bit.
They don't get along.
Okay, we're back with the third body.
So
Where I am.
there's like the peeps pointed out to me last night, like Roxy's like we found out, didn't we, about the mine and them getting out and all the like peeps and that whole thing. And that here she started to talk about it and reminisce about it. Or not reminisce, but like think about that.
Just reminiscing about trauma.
about death and all that stuff.
Trauma and the terrible things that have happened to her.
Yeah.
Where do we go?
It is where the prisoner area is, but
It's
not.
kind of like a wall that has a bunch of little like prison cell huts lined up along it. It's sort of like blue greeny in lighting color, and it's like tucked just to like the left of one of the ones that has its door shut. We gotta go
Is
back
it
a
like
little further.
up further?
Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna just have that screenshot there, and I'm just gonna be back in like 1 30-second motion.
Yeah, go for it.
Do it.
The shadow steps are so convenient.
Yeah.
Oh, but you're Willbender. You got good movement. You good.
Yeah, I guess so.
You already back up to me. Keep going on.
How are you liking playing Willbender?
I like it. I like it. It's faster. More movement than Firebrand. Different. I'm missing things about Firebrand for sure, but Firebrand got a little nerf, so I don't know. I like it.
It needs more nerfs.
Okay, it's that
more.
It's that wall of huts. So to the left of the first one.
No.
I'm pretty sure it was there. Oh, maybe it's not. Oh, it is. It's right here. It's right here. Come to me. It's this little square on the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Ow.
They killed my
Excellent.
Balky.
I like how you said that almost mockingly, and it's like very tragic. A child was killed, Boots.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
They had it coming.
Wow. Well, it's time to come back.
Wow.
Holy shit. Jesus.
Does anybody want to read this one, or do you want me to read it?
You read it.
You. Take a big swig of that beer. Get ready.
Ah, yeah, good butt mouth flavor, delicious.
I love tasting ass.
We talked about this before the podcast. People can enjoy that, and it's a fine thing. Yeah.
Okay, now on a more serious note. We've been here.
They
for...
killed Balky.
Wait, when was Sirius a part of this podcast?
Y'all like
This
booze?
is a serious journal. Stop talking about your
Oh,
Bucci.
okay.
Here we go.
My boozy.
Oh, I don't know. I've never heard that word before.
According to booze.
Please continue. if you're able.
I'm trying.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, okay, I'm getting into character. I'm immersing myself. All right. We've been here for, by the wolf, days, weeks, a month may have passed, but I don't have the slightest idea. They killed Barkley, Magne's little boy. They dumped his body back into the cell. I covered him with my shawl. I closed his eyes. His feet were charred, his arms swollen and red. I haven't been taken for a round of experiments yet, but I fear for the worst when they do. It seems like only a few come back alive, and the others? I hope their deaths were swift, though I'm not ignorant to whatever reality awaits us deeper in the mine. I can only pray to the spirits that Newt is sending aid.
That's us.
We're the aid.
We are the aid.
Aid.
We've just we've
But
been
Newt
making
did
them
not
wait a
send
little
us.
bit.
Yeah, Newt did not send us though, but we came of our own accord, so.
Poor Backley.
So the prisoners want to kind of get out of here. Do you want to join me? They're getting out.
Oh yeah.
We
have a little bit of ways to go.
Yeah, it's gonna take us a second to run our butts there, so.
It's okay.
Let's
I'm
get our
joking.
mount. Let's mount
So
up.
what do you think about the instance so far? You enjoyed it? It's been good? Like it's a bit long? Like how is it maybe in comparison with 4 people running it? Probably a little bit quicker.
Much faster. in terms of encounters. So I like that.
Cool. Cool.
I didn't do it solo, so I don't really know. With all of us together, I feel like the pace was great. I liked that it was a big thing. I felt like it had a good culmination of moments for both Rox and Bram. Like, I honestly love seeing this not just as a fractal, because I can say that I did not even realize how this all fit together. I knew it was from Living Season 1, but again, it was like, okay, well, these were bad guys, I guess, from then. So now it just feels like I actually have context as to what was happening and why, you know, there were important character moments here.
I mean, I think you actually have more context than I had back then as well. Like, the two guys bursting out of the wall were kind of, you know, out of left field a little bit when I first played this.
I don't think we had the notes. No.
Yeah, I don't think we did either. It was just like, oh, there are two interesting dudes.
Yeah, maybe we didn't. Coming out. Maybe we didn't get. Yeah, right. They did remind. Yeah, that's true. They did Bebop and Rocksteady. Yeah. Man, very cool. Okay. We need to. Oh, you've done this.
I was just thinking in my brain right now, as I usually do.
Careful, Griff.
Yeah, don't think in your brain. That's
your poor brain.
It can be a bit challenging, but I love a nice challenge. But I was like, there's no strike mission release with this episode, technically, and none with the rest of Living World Season 1 until we get to the final episode. And I was like, I know this is already a fractal, but would it have been good if they also updated that boss to also be a strike mission? But I was like, it's already a fractal, so I guess they don't really need to. I don't think they're going to
do this boss as a strike.
No, but it's like, should they? Or like the idea of making this a strike mission, because there are like pretty good boss moments in Season 1.
It's quite a small area for 10, I guess. Although, I guess the newer strikes are quite small as well. If you think about the second part of that fight, it does get... It could be.
Yeah. And I mean, we did just have the CM release with this, which I think is why maybe they didn't do like additional strikes, you know, with each of these episodes, because they knew they were going to be releasing those and tuning them and all that kind of stuff. But I do agree that I hope that like if we, I forgot I couldn't use gliding.
I did the same thing.
You died?
Yeah, but
are you dead? What? Where are you?
No, she gets teleported back a ways, and
it's okay. I've got my Jade bot. I'm fine. I'm not that far back.
Your Jade bot is rezzing you right now?
Yeah, my Jade bot.
I forgot. You know, it didn't do it to me last night. Oh no, my Jade bot is on another character. That's why.
Aww.
You flippin' cheeky person.
But I do hope that like for future Living seasons, right? So when we get to like the entirely new Living season, I hope that we more liberally see like a rotation of strike mission content. Even if like in those they release, you know, a strike with the episodes and then we get like a CM down the road and like another one. Like I honestly would be fine with that, but I definitely think there's going to be a lot of people keeping an eye out on the strike mission release schedule, right? Because of that challenge that they want. And if this is going to be our fill-in for endgame content, they want to know to expect it on some kind of schedule. And it's such a great way to do storytelling for like unique bosses. And I think they could totally do it. I hope they do. And I'm curious to see what the one from this season will look like. And by then we'll have all the CMs out. So, I mean, again, it's not like we don't have anything between now and then. I haven't tried... I was gonna say, I haven't tried the new CM, but I've heard it's really fun. I know, I really want to. I've heard it's really good. I don't know if you agree.
I've got my border-thon tomorrow, if people want to do it tomorrow.
It is very difficult.
Really?
And it is the one, I would say this is the one boss fight, and these challenge modes probably will be, where you have to have a certain amount of DPS. Because if you don't beat it in time, it's not an enrage, it just kills everyone.
That's good.
So there is a level of, you need to have this minimum.
Yeah,
that makes sense though.
It's quite challenging.
I love it. That's exciting.
But even beyond that, like... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
I was really like, even beyond that...
Wait, the mining node. Oh
yeah, there's a mining node.
Don't go through. This is the last one.
Even beyond the timer, the challenge mode, the base attacks are so much more damaging to the point where it's like, you need healers, but also healers don't matter.
Okay. Just go on this bit if you don't want to jump. You can go along here.
Okay.
There you go. And then it's down here.
10 seconds.
Yeah, quick.
It's fine.
I wonder
5
what
seconds,
happens if you
4, 3. Oh yeah, I'm gonna stand outside.
You die?
No! Did you get it?
I think yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
And I got the fused shoulders.
I shall
Yeah,
revive
that's
you
it.
all.
Yeah. Good job. You got the shoulders. Sick.
Nothing can bring me down.
Adieu.
Woo.
That was fun.
Damn. I like that we got teleported as well. That was so funny. That was like
That was good.
extreme mining right there. That was like the best. That was the best example of.
Wow,
streaming.
you on X Games mode.
Yeah. So true. Oh yeah, sorry, the story.
Not if I see you first.
Told you. He laughs at his own jokes.
Yeah, snorted in the corner.
Yours
And then-
was very accurate. Your version of
I'm
Brent was
telling you.
incredibly accurate.
I'll keep my base hand out.
Does not sound like
Not if
that.
I see you
The laugh.
Amazing. Well, earlier it was accurate. That we got a little too far now.
A little bit.
At the beginning, it was pretty accurate, though.
Okay.
Okay, so tell me more about this CM crew.
Oh, it's hard. The auto attacks are so much more damaging than in normal, which is, kind of expected, but to the level at which they buffed the basic attacks, it's really surprising. And also certain mechanics within the strike mission, like when everyone gets selected with like a sniper shot, in the non-challenge mode, the radius of it is still pretty large where you have to spread, but like in challenge mode, it's wild. Everyone has to spread like throughout the entire arena. So there are certain mechanics within this strike mission that I was not expecting to be bolstered to the degree that they were, but they were very pleasant surprises, and there are many other surprises throughout the strike mission, but that's just one example of where I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting them to hit that mechanic specifically.
I love that though, because it does feel like, I mean, if you're setting the bar that high again, and people I think have been worried about, oh, well, would we still find something like a CM to be really rewarding to tackle if we are looking for a high, end game, high tier PvE content? So to have it be something that is really challenging, and especially like the easiest of the normal bunch to be this challenging already, I'm actually excited about that. And having to maybe even assign positioning around arenas and stuff to make sure you're negotiating things just right and that your calls are on point. Like that's some of my favorite stuff to do when it comes to coordinating. And Guild Wars 2 has always had a really satisfying sense of, like responding quickly to certain things where, in a moment, if there's RNG on a boss, you have to dodge, roll, or move or do these things and adjust really quickly, which is great. But some of those more scripted elements, or the like plotting out the dance of the fight, hasn't always been quite as like across the board in every boss. So to see a few things where you really are having to negotiate mechanics so meticulously, that gets me like really excited to try it.
And I'm happy to say that from my perspective, it is harder than Harvest Temple, which is the final strike mission. And
Harvest Temple seems gonna be lit.
Oh
my god.
I cannot imagine what the hell they're gonna do for Harvest Temple. Because
I haven't done that one yet. Or did we run into it, Croof?
Yeah, I think we got to like Primordus phase.
Oh, okay.
We did a little bit of it.
Okay.
I will say, if you want to just if your reward is based on just accomplishing the challenge, it's great. But I will say the rewards for doing challenge mode are not good. They're not enticing. It doesn't feel like it is a logical step up in rewards.
My understanding is that they're on par with rating.
They're not.
But
they're less than rating, because rating gives you at least 2 gold. And so here's how I look at it. Rating gives you at least 2 gold per boss, and you can do a full wing and get like 6 gold, and then I think you get a bit extra depending on like if it's the Call of the Mists is active. So you can get 2 per boss. You only get 1 gold for doing the challenge mode boss, and you also get a legendary insight. But I would say that the level of challenge mode that the Aetherblade is at is actually much more difficult than many of the raids that we currently have.
Yeah.
So I don't think the rewards are.
You get skin,
I don't
right?
think the rewards match the quality
You
of
get
the content.
skin there as well. You get the sword.
You can unlock a sword skin,
Yeah.
which I don't think is great.
I will say I actually do like the sword skin, but I think the problem is when it comes in on being like hyper specific to just one weapon that like many players may or may not even use on their, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And
I
feel
think
like,
if you're going to have a set of weapons that drops from this boss that can be sold, then it's like, oh, okay, well, I can sell these cosmetics to get gold and run this. And like, you know, if people don't want to do that, like, they can learn the fight and run it. So, yeah.
Has anyone got a link to the weapon? Have anyone got the weapon code?
you can go to Arborstone. You purchase it through the Green Shard Merchant. So you can preview it there. You can't just purchase it.
Okay.
For now.
Right. Cool. Let me have a look.
But on the front of the weapon, I agree. I think it would have been nice if there were like 3 weapons with the same style that, you know, came with this challenge mode. But because it's just one sword, I feel like with the challenge mode and because it's such a giant grand endeavor, the sword, in my opinion, it feels almost like a letter opener. Like it doesn't feel like it's too muted, not in terms of particle effects, but if they just like increased the size of the blade and made it more of a standout weapon. I love the design, I love the detail, but I just think they got a little something wrong with like the proportion of it.
Are you at the vendor? Someone's.
Oh, like I can get to the vendor. Yeah.
Oh, there's the shards.
I don't know which one is it? Is it the
Zazzle.
legendary?
At the very
crafting?
bottom.
Oh, is it? It's not the legendary crafting one then.
No, it's by the strike mission portal.
Oh, that would actually make sense. And I can mount now. I forgot about that. Nice stuff.
I mean, one of the things that I always really liked, so if we look at extreme primals in Final Fantasy XIV, which are like a single boss fight in the harder mode, right? They have kind of a cycle that they do for those. So some of them will drop just like accessories, which I always find to be a little underwhelming, even though technically it helps your eye level if you are somebody who is like, you know, trying to grind to get best in slot and stuff like that. But then other bosses will drop themed sets of weapons. And those themed weapons, oh, I meant to say this. I actually discovered something. These two tie together, so give me a second here. We were talking a couple weeks ago about the meta and the Salt Spray Dragon weapons, and I just found out that there is actually a like rare drop chance, I believe from the meta, but also from other things, other content. I think even from the strikes, at least the 3 that were released are Harvest Temple. There is a rare chance that you do get a special effect version of the Salt Spray weapons. We were saying like, oh, I wish they had done a special effect. There is a special effect version of them, and it turns the like metal parts into a part that has this like water effect that's really cool. So I mean, even if they did something like that, where like with 14, the extremes drop a special set of thematically designed weapons that are, you know, appropriate to the boss in some way, shape, or form, or the theme of the boss. And then down the road for crafters and gatherers, they add something else in later where like there's also crafting, gathering, like a crafting item that drops from those bosses. And then down the road, like later on, they add special effect versions of those weapons so that then you go in again and almost run those to try and get the crafting materials that can be used for a variety of different things, but to also upgrade and get like a special particle effect on those weapons that dropped from the extreme. And then you can sell those upgraded versions on the market to make some money. So I feel like a method like that with strikes would also be great. I like that kind of idea.
The idea of building something is cool. It always is. Like it's like the legendary armor, like and like the legendary journey to get the Gen 2 ones, like you're saying as well, is with especially with like getting the thing and then getting the particle effect as well, because the skin's nice. It's actually a genuinely nice looking sword. But like you said, Rick, as well, like you can understand that if people don't use swords, then you're just getting a sword.
Hey, while we're all here, since we're all here in Arborstone, you want to just go up to the second floor and say hi to someone?
yeah, we can do
Yes.
that for sure.
Yes.
Absolutely. I don't think I've actually done that yet. Yeah, that would be cool. Where are you? I don't think I've actually done that yet.
Now I'm gonna be so embarrassed.
But you're just gonna have to deal with it, I'm afraid. Let's celebrate the people.
But to briefly like wrap up, I do think the strike mission is stellar. It's absolutely fantastic. I haven't beaten it yet, but I just think that like from what I've heard, it's kind of like an echoed thought about like the reward aspect is kind of slipping a little bit, but really good. I highly recommend everyone try it out if you are comfortable with hard content, and go in with that mindset that this is supposed to be much more challenging and push people. But I love seeing people play it.
I think on purpose as well. They've not made it ridiculously rewarding. I think the idea is that it is supposed to be the challenge part of it. Is that I know that we harp on, and in MMORPGs as well, we harp on reward a lot. I think Guild Wars 2, they do want to come up with something where the reward is cool and unique, but it's not extra special cool where people are gonna lose their crap if they don't actually get it, you know, because that will happen, and we've seen that happen with the turtle. So I think they've been cautious. You're at the
Well, there's
book
a
area.
difference between a skin and a mount, I think. And I don't
Gosh,
think you
we're all
could
so
add
huge.
anything. Oh my god, we are just
so
towering
cute.
over.
What? Oh my god. You do realize this can't happen, right? You are two of the same people in the same space, sharing the same area.
I
So
know.
Guild Wars 2 is about to
Dimensional
implode
paradigm.
on itself. Oh, they've given you
Yeah.
that outfit as well. That's the chest piece that I'm wearing. Oh no, that's the chest
PvP
piece I
one.
normally wear.
It's like a mix of the PvP and the mist pants, the mist shard pants.
Yeah.
That chest piece is in the game. It's the PvP one. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, look at that. You're right
Taking so
twice
many
in one day.
screenshots.
It never happened.
Love
Mark your
that chest
calendars.
piece.
I was right twice in one day.
Is it the
I know.
whole-
Wow, what a revolutionary thing.
Yeah,
I
that's
agree.
cool.
I think that they will rework rewards if the community, I mean, obviously, as always, the community gives feedback, and I think they've been really good about responding to it. So I agree in that, like, given the challenge level of these and the fact that they are considerably more challenging than, I mean, as you pointed out, even from what I've heard, than many raid bosses, right? Incentive, rewards, those things are always important in the balance of how things work out. And I think there's also something to be said about like transparency of rewards. So we have a lot of systems right now with, you know, End of Dragons, where it's like, oh, we'll do all of these each week and you can turn in these things and then you can get this stuff. But a lot of times players may not see the full value of how to turn in those things and how much they actually get if they do all the stuff and what they're going to get from it and if they can sell it and if they can. So like if there's a very direct, tangible, visible reward that they can immediately see, oh, I get this thing from it. A lot of times you'll see more people that are willing to do it and like, you know, actually get in there versus, I don't know, a lot of misinformation that can spread otherwise that just kind of goes on about like, oh, it's not worth anything. And they're like, well, actually, if you do this, this, and this, and this, and then you bring these and then that, you're getting good money for blah, blah, blah. Like, I think people sometimes just don't fully pay attention to that. And or in a game where we haven't had like a really consistent, you know, okay, well now we are at the end game of an expansion. So if I do all the strikes that have been released and then I take the totems to the place and then I turn them in, right? It's not like a standard that we've had across the whole game. So players don't know what to expect exactly for those rewards or like how it functions or exactly what to do with it unless they go out and really search for that themselves. So I hope that they do increase some of the rewards for the CMs in particular, because I do think there's something to be said about like giving them longevity and having a good high challenge level and giving people something really fun to run. And the fact that in Guild Wars 2, your gear level is never going to be something where that content will like just not be run and it's just like, you know, just nonsense to get through. Like just a super breeze to get through. You know, it's nice to know that like if the challenge is up there, then you need to make sure that like long term there is some kind of sustained reward so that people would still want to run that and get something unique from it. I like the sword. I personally do like the sword skin, but I agree in that it doesn't necessarily feel like 100% themed around the actual fight itself. It's much more understated. It feels more like a cosmetic that we would just get for doing hearts or something, like, you know, events or something around the map in Cantha to get like a setting for it. So I wonder, they could have done more interesting.
I wonder if you're right though, and then maybe we don't know the full story, because maybe it's a Caesar, maybe it's like once they've done all of them from Ender Dragons, maybe there's something where it's going to be a combination of stuff. But I feel like if it was gonna, they probably would have announced that. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you have to build some Megazord weapon or something.
Give him more gold. Give him like 4 gold. Give him like 3 cool skins and call it a day.
I mean,
that's honestly good reward.
They could have done like a set of the weapons at least, maybe to add. Maybe, I know that takes a long time to make a skin. Skins do take a long time. Yeah.
Even if they had, I mean, okay, I will say this, and I never like to be this person. I'll be honest. They have to earn their money. The person that's about to say what I'm about to say.
No,
they have to earn their money, and I actually like cosmetics in the cash shop.
Yes.
But there does come a point for me where I'm like, we've had a couple unbelievably gorgeous all weapon skin sets release in the gem store. The crane one, this like Black Lotus one that's out now, you know, like, and I absolutely want to see them incentivize players to have that. But I think one of the biggest player requests for a very long time has been, please let there be more unique rewards that I can earn in game. And technically you can earn the money in game to buy those skins, but like for me, there is a point where I'm like, I absolutely am cool with you making these, and I'm fine supporting you and buying them in the cash shop because I pay next to nothing for this game. So I want to clarify with all of that because I don't want to just complain about it unnecessarily. I know why they do it. But I think if you are going to have rewarding challenges like this, then maybe like you do need to have a unique full set of weapons. Like they can make them, and they have made them for cash shop rewards, which does generate direct income for them. But I also do truly believe that fostering a PvE community also earns you money in the long run, because people are more likely to be spending more time and enjoyment and things like that in the game. So like, I mean, can you imagine how many people would run those things until they had the entire set of all the weapons? Like, so many people. And then especially even more so if you can sell them, and then you're rewarded for like a high level of skill play that other people may not do. Or if you can't sell them, that's also fine, because then it is a reward that incentivizes people to actually have to engage with that content. But
indeed,
or even just like a random drop, even if you just get a random drop like of a Black Lion's weapons. Can you imagine if they started doing that? Like, you raid bosses, like there's a reset every week, and you can get you can get one of the wardrobe unlocks, like for weapons of the Black Lion trading company things. All right, yeah, it may screw over some of the, or it was a random chance maybe, but like even just adding something just a little bit, like even if
they have to be unique
chance.
Rewards. They have to be unique. They cannot be something that you can earn elsewhere in the game.
Yeah, but like even if it's just for now, like just as a little extra something. I mean, I know it should be in it, because like Elder Scrolls Online does a really like, and Elder Scrolls Online, and Rook knows this, their shop is ridiculously overpriced. The reason it's overpriced is because when you sub to the game, you get a certain amount of crowns in the store, which is why everything is so damn overpriced. And they you would think that they wouldn't do unique rewards for raids, but they give you not only a player skin, which is basically like an infusion, but they give you a completely new mount to say like, there's no other way to get this other than if you do this boss on a hard mode, like it's no death or it's no whatever. And it's the same in some of the dungeons, like you can go on a no death run or a speed run and you can get a die, which is not available anywhere else, you know? So you've got this one thing. So I think I definitely agree with you, Kroof. Like, 100%. It needs to be unique. That's the sword, unfortunately, in this case. But like, maybe, what do you think, Proof, that they could put in there as well? Yeah, I agree. Like mount skin. Specifically.
If it was literally okay, so we had the release of the foxes with this, and it came with a pack of 3. If they had just decoupled one of them and put like you could get a base fox raptor skin from doing the challenge mode. Yeah. That would be something people would work towards, and it wouldn't necessarily be something where you couldn't get it because you could have 2 of the other fox skins in the gem store that are different. It would just be something to earn in game. And if it was just, I understand mounts, like that's probably a really big money maker and a really big incentive for people to purchase gems. But as you said, Rook, and as we've kind of been talking about over the course of podcasts, it's like you have to have something in game for people to log in. And maybe the more time people play, the more time people invest. And like, you know what, maybe it's worth, maybe I'll drop a couple dollars on some gems. So yeah, instead of a sword amount.
They have done, like I see pointing out in chat, and like I mentioned earlier, right? Like those living water weapons are great, and you do get them from the currency from strikes, and you do get them from like possible drops between strikes and Dragon's End. So like, I do actually think that's super cool. It's just a matter of the frequency that they'll be able to release these. And when it comes to like the CMs, like we were all saying, I think there does need to be, if this is the threshold of difficulty, which I love it. But if this is the threshold of difficulty, then there does need to, like you pointed out, be just that like extra incentive. There needs to be something that you get for doing those as opposed to just choosing to run the normals each week to save up the currency. There needs to be some reason that like, other than just, I want to say that I did it. Like, because of course I personally am very much I want to say that I did it kind of person, but I agree that it always feels really good when you do have something more where you're like, I feel great that I spent my time doing this and I got something that's memorable from this, and I feel like I got something that's iconic from this, and I like that a lot. And I mean, it could very well be that, like we've all been saying, we just aren't seeing the complete picture. They might release all of these CMs and then put in some kind of robust thing where, like, for running the CM modes and clearing them, again, you get some kind of thing to exchange. Or if you run them enough, you would get something like a mount skin, or like, because I think that would also totally work, even if they wanted to do them as a set and have like you were saying, Kroof, 3 of the weapons drop from one, 3 of the other weapon skins drop from another. Like, if they wanted to do something like that too, and then between them you got all of those, and then there was some kind of upgradable special cosmetic, or if you ran all of them enough and you saved up a bunch of currency, you could get a really special mount skin. People would lose their minds. Like in ESO, they even have these special like skins that change the effect of like your character's skin, exactly. Kind of like the dwarf tonic and stuff, right? But like, where if you clear this hard, the raid equivalent, right? Like you get this special glowing effect skin or something.
Yeah,
like,
that's the thing I was talking about.
I think it would also build community with those really special rewards, because I think with the level of difficulty of this strike mission challenge mode, we're gonna see people form up static groups and maybe even guilds around this level of difficulty, because I'm gonna say you probably cannot pug this just from the LFG. You have to have really good communication and also know the skill level of the other players. And if there were extra rewards attached to it, maybe that would incentivize people to go, oh, hey, I probably am going to want more of a guild structure to this, more of a friendly group of players that, I know. And I would love to see more of a guild community surrounded around like strike missions and raids and stuff. But I think that reward is missing to push people.
Of guilds, did you guys see the... Yeah, Kroof pointed this out to me. There is a new panel in the looking for group thing that is looking for guild stuff, and people could advertise guilds in there for recruiting.
What?
Yeah. I was talking to Boots. I was like, is that new? Because I don't remember.
I think it's new. I think
seeing it. So it might be old, but I saw it and I was like, oh my god, there's a looking for guild tab.
Nice. Okay, guild plus. So there's no one in there.
When I checked, there's 3.
Advertise your group.
Yeah, when I last saw, there was like 4 or 5 guilds advertising.
LightBringers Guild is recruiting.
There you go.
And that's great because I've had a lot of people ask, like, how do I find a guild in Guild Wars 2? And I'm like, go to zones, look for a bunch of people that have a tag and ask them if they're, recruiting. Go to forums. I wouldn't suggest Reddit, but maybe you can Reddit. Go to Discords, look for Discords. And I mean, of course, I recommend LightBringers and our own guild that I do with my channel, but it's like, having that just in game, especially as we start doing alliances for World versus World, or yes, as you were saying, like start building more of a community around different facets. That would be very interesting.
They need
and
a
if they
proper
continue to
agreement.
expand guild stuff.
Yeah, they need a proper system for it. They can't just chuck it in there.
It's very bare bones right now. It's a fine start. It's good that there's something finally after 10 years, but it needs more than what it currently has. But
UI. It needs a UI in here where you do like actual guild stuff, like in your guild main or somewhere along, I don't know, another tab where it says there's systems in, I think there was a really good system in Rift actually where you could apply.
Yes.
It was very good. It was like you could apply in the game and write notes and stuff, and you could actually say what classes you were looking for, like specs, like raiding, and you could tick different boxes. It was really involved. Rift had some ridiculously good systems. I wish people would. We're gonna go on to the final point. Actually, one of the final points. Rift took something from other games, and the Guild Wars 2 could take stuff from other games as well. I think we can learn other things from other games, and I wonder what people think about World of Warcraft taking something, or I would say borrowing something. And I've got my very relaxed point of view about this because I don't really care that much. But what do people think about the new World of Warcraft expansion announcement and the possible usage of a asset of a griffin, which is already in Guild Wars 2 and it looking kind of similar? And also, can someone link it to me, because I had it and I lost it? Oh no, it's in my document. Good. I'll show it on the screen. So go on.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, right?
It's pretty much what I said this week.
Quote of the century.
It's always lame when a for-profit thing almost directly copies something that's also for profit, whether or not they're breaking any copyright laws or anything. They're probably not, because there's a lot to be said about incremental improvements or incremental things in software engineering. But that said, it doesn't look as good as what Guild Wars 2 has. So if people play it and like it, and then are told, Guild Wars 2 has this but better, good for Guild Wars 2, right?
I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, I agree. It's the combination of Griffin and the Sky Scale, right? Because the spin. But I agree. I think it's fine. I actually don't care. I'm just because it's exactly like you say, games should be borrowing from other games. This will make me play World of Warcraft to try out the mount for sure and be like, oh yeah, how similar is this? Is it the same? And I might play it for the story and everything else because they've gone for this more high fantasy. They're returning to Azeroth, etc., etc. But I think it's. What do you think, Kroof and Rook? You think you on the same level, or are you like, it's a rip-off?
Well,
take them to the cleaners, mates. What do you think?
I do actually have a YouTube video on this, which I was extremely surprised to see get so much comment traction.
How are you surprised about that?
Well, because I thought it would just get a little bit, because I usually just do Guild Wars 2, but it had to do with Guild Wars 2, but it was also primarily talking about the World of Warcraft expansion. So but I think overall my impression is that it's not new that games pull from other games. I think that's totally normal, and you have to, in a competitive world, you have to keep up with what is working and what is objectively good. And I think mounts are objectively great systems in Guild Wars 2 because they're so awesome and they have such a great feel to them. Now, I did get comments that did like enlighten me on the subject of people being upset about this, and particularly comments coming from people who are at school for like art and systems design and just engineering with games. And they had mentioned in their comments, like, if we had brought this to one of our professors and tried to sell it off as our own product, we would fail because it is such a direct copy. From what is shown, they're saying that it looks like a very direct copy. Now, of course, they probably are still able to do it because they changed a couple things here and there. The code is different. They're probably able to get away with it legally. But in terms of artistic integrity, from what was shown, I'll agree that it does feel very similar. Now, that said, I hope that World of Warcraft expands upon this to make it their own, because ultimately, I want those developing the game to still have a love for it, and for them, and for us to give them credit and be shocked and wowed by their, you know, like, wow, you all did a great job at this. So I hope they're able to make it their own and expand upon it and go beyond to give it their own system. Because I just want people to win. I want people to be good.
I get that. I mean, the system that so what they're doing with that is apparently, even though you see it on the ground in that one of those new maps, is that you pretty much only gonna be able to fly with it in that zone, and also you're gonna be able to add like armor and talons and different things to it, which I think is actually pretty unique. Like, so adding that to it, if they didn't do much else to it, like, it would have been a bit more of an issue, I think. But like, as well, I agree with you in that artist kind of that respect, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I mean, I was just gonna say, I think Kroof, in your video and both now, you have articulated a lot of how I feel about all of this. Like, it's kind of funny because I do straddle two different communities. So like, you know, I pretty actively make both 14 and Guild Wars 2 backbones of my content. And we just, I don't know, half a year ago had a very similar situation with WoW to 14, where there was this design of this crystal, and like the use of its lore and context and everything else within the games were very different. Like, obviously totally different settings and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, the visual was so identical beyond all comprehension, that there is like no way it was not a direct like take to put in their game. And it's funny because I agree. Like, I talk all the time about how MMOs influence each other, and when you're vying for a subscription base, learning from other games and the features that they offer is really massive. I think it is something they all do. They all iterate off of, they all improve off of, and or work on in their own unique way. For all of that though, I can't help but just feel a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth about it. And I think it comes down to, like you were saying, Kroof, the idea of, is it okay? Yes. And am I mad? And do I want the developers to be punished for their sin? No, not at all. Not even a little bit. But at the same time, it just is a little bit uncomfortable for me because the animations are identical. Like they are identical. The like dip down and the barrel roll. And
the roll
it's
is
one
the
of those,
one, yeah.
like,
it's slower though.
Even down to, because I was noticing this, one of my favorite things about the Griffin mounts is the fact that the feathers, the way the wind ripples through them, you actually can see on the edge of the wing that the wind causes this like slight ripple effect. The exact same effect is on the dragons from the WoW.
And also the dragon also has a very similar to tail to the griffin as well, which is also kind of...
Yeah, and their tail is very sky scale bulky bulb-esque.
Yes, and so for me, it's like, I am glad because I do think that having unique mount systems and upgradable and customizable mounts in an MMO is a really smart thing. I think it's one of the greatest strengths of like offerings of unique things that Guild Wars 2 offers. But I also find it a little bit rough because it's tough when Guild Wars 2 on its own, right? Like, I think doesn't nearly have as large of a company behind it, doesn't receive nearly as much attention, and like these features that really are exceptional about it. Like, there are many players who will play this and be like, wow, innovated this. And I'm gonna be like, like, you know?
Yeah, it does feel bad when like a larger company pulls from a smaller one and reaps the profit.
That's something which just happens every single fucking day. Doesn't mean it's right or, but like it's just something people. It's awful. Terrible.
Yeah, so it's like I'm not mad, I'm not angry. I think it's smart of them. This was a really clever thing for them to take. But at the same time, at a moment in time for World of Warcraft, when really, like, there are so many other things in this game that need to be dealt with. There are so many other ways that they need to be communicating with their player base. There are so many other ways that they need to be defining themselves and innovating and or starting fresh with a new World of Warcraft 2. There are so many things where it's like, really, truly, genuinely, now is an important time for your studio to be, you know, paying back the time and energy and love and years that your player base have spent in this game, and to show that, like, you do have this promising, unique future ahead. And that's not to say that there aren't things that don't show that promise with World of Warcraft, but, like, to me, it was a little disappointing to see that they released, you know, like, okay, well, here it is, but here are all these, like, here's this feature that we took from another game, and here's this stuff, and, like, our release schedule has been a mess, and we still haven't truly dealt with the, you know, egregious workplace environment that led to people dying. Like, it's just hard for me. I really respect the players that play it, and I really respect the passionate devs that work on the game, because there are so many wonderful people that do work on the game, and artists, but at the same time, it's also just so, like, it's frustrating, because you all know me. I'm like, any MMO creates a dragon-based expansion, I would be first to play it, and I can't in good conscience play this one. I just don't feel good about it. So it's just kind of tough. Like, again, I'm not, like, upset, I'm not angry. I don't think that borrowing ideas and innovating is a bad thing, but it did kind of add on to the other stuff that I already was feeling really conflicted about with Blizzard, I guess.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think the other issues at Blizzard are way more important to think about compared to this. I understand, like, the kind of scumminess, but then I think about when MMOs started to come out as well, and systems that were blatantly copied. Guild Wars 2 is very guilty of that. They blatantly took the Warhammer quest system, event system, and they pretty much did exactly the same thing. And it's like, okay, when is it a system thing? When is it an art thing? And is it okay to directly copy systems? And is it okay to directly copy art? And what is the difference in creation there? Just because we don't see it, but we interact in it. What is art? What is creation? What is integrity? And that kind of comes in as well. When it's really direct copy for copy like that, it definitely can bring, because I don't know, I went actually over to the YouTube and the Twitch streams of it. Guild Wars 2, boom, was in there, and I was like, damn, there's loads of advertisement free right there. And I was like, well, cool. I mean, advertise the game, then you can go and see where, you know, these things originally came from. And I do feel bad for, like, I do wonder what we'll never hear unless we meet them in person. We'd never repeat that anyway. But I do wonder what they would say. I still think that Guild Wars 2's mounts are different enough, and that they have their own uniqueness and awesomeness, as well as not just, I don't even think World of Warcraft are going to go in the same way as trying to get them. I don't think there's going to be this epic line.
Warcraft is still 3 years away from making turtles anyway, so
there you go.
Yeah, we have a bunch of unique mounts. They're not touching that.
I mean,
You can't use them in all of the world, and in Guild Wars 2, you can use the mounts in all of the world. So, like, that's huge. I mean, hey, maybe Guild Wars 2 will even do a swap-a-rooney, where the next mount that we get has, like, all custom, you know, things that you can choose.
Because wouldn't we like that? We would like that. Like, if we can directly, I mean, we can copy back, hopefully, but, like, it's very difficult. Well, we don't need to. We've got our own stuff.
What is there to copy in WoW?
But, like,
I mean, it's funny because even when you were pointing out, like, you can put the claws and stuff on there, I was like, okay, so just like how you can do customizable slots on JadeBot for different things that you want. Like,
I guess
it's
so.
just,
I don't. Yeah.
It's just-
I
Yeah,
guess.
I mean, one of the dragon, they could really increase the customization with the flying. Like, I really would have like instead of a barrel roll, like they're dragons, they're magical dragons. Have them like teleport or like zoom really fast, or like it would be really cool if the dragons instead of a dive mechanic, they had like a launch mechanic where they like flapped their wings and shot high up.
You know what?
You could have done so many other things.
You know what we could take in Guild Wars 2 from WoW? Earnable in-game prestige skins.
Well,
From
this is this is going to be a podcast. I think this is going to be like, what could Guild Wars 2 borrow from?
Jebro,
like,
we have to do End of Dragons first.
Okay, sorry.
We have to do that episode, so help me out. We are dying, Jebro. Please let us talk about End of Dragons.
All right, we'll talk about. Wait. We need to probably like Eckervold and Jadebot is next week, I guess, and other bits, and then we'll start story, I suppose. But then we've also got, haven't we got Thing coming out soon? The next episode. When's
We have the challenge mode next month, and then the month after that, episode
we
2
got
of
time.
Living
We
World.
Okay, we got time. We still do weekly podcasts as well, so that's okay.
I'm gonna be gone from mid-May to early June. So
you
just
going
heads
back
up
to
there.
Canada
Canada. Going for a wedding.
for
Nice.
2 months?
No,
Oh
for
wait,
2
sorry,
weeks.
2 weeks. Sorry, okay,
2 months.
2 weeks. You go for a wedding to 2 weeks still.
Well, yeah, I had to plan the bachelor party, and that's 2 weeks before the wedding.
Oh, you're the
Oh,
best man.
I'm the best man.
Aw.
You are the best man.
Aww.
That's good.
And then Jebra's like runner up.
Wow. Yeah, thanks. Rick.
Damn.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I know we had this slight discussion about the
Can I be the
artistic,
cues?
like, thingamajig, but
Yeah,
damn,
yeah.
just immediately. It's like soul is ripped out and destroyed.
No, I'm kidding. I'm teasing.
No, you're
Yeah,
not.
I mean it's fine. I'm not that upset about it. I do think they could have benefited from, like, if the concept you're taking is mounts that have unique upgradable
reader.
mobilities, right? There are a lot of games that could have even drawn from Arcade. All the different types of like mounts have some kind of unique levelable thing that they eventually do. Like, it could have been something that they took for themselves as a concept and then reinvented and, you know, like we said, added different things, or even made, like, for the whole game, hey, now how we do mounts has been completely changed, because I do think even that is frustrating for a lot of players. Oh my gosh, I used to hate how long it took me to get a mount in World of Warcraft, how long it takes to just pay and get the money to unlock flight in a zone. Like, they could have overhauled the whole system with, like, how they do mounts and added in some other unique things. And I mean, like, that takes a lot of work, but I felt like this was, it's fine. I'm not upset. I'm not furious at anybody, but it did feel maybe just a little too on the nose. Just a little bit. Just a little.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we ended on a fantastic note. There you go.
Yeah, I think-
Yes, Rook did not finish right at the end bit, but that was like part of the main. That was like the main bulk of it. And yes, we didn't check out the last part of the instance. Maybe we'll talk about the last part of that next week. They can do probably some reactions on their stream as well, just those last bits, story episode bits and bobs.
I've been spending the last 20 minutes in game running up the stairs in Arborstone and falling off the balcony onto Rookery and landing flat on my face, and then repeating.
Gotta get that cardio in. You gotta build those glutes.
Yeah.
I'm counting your reps and counting your reps.
That's Stairmaster.
Is there anything else that came out for Guild Wars 2 this week that we need to talk about? Was there anything significant big changes? I don't think so.
No, I loved
Okay, we
Living
good?
Season 1. The new episode, I had a great time. Thought it gave me a lot of good context. I enjoyed all the stuff. I'm curious to try out the CM, so feel very good. It was a good release week.
We should do like a partner challenge mode run.
That would be
Yeah.
fun.
I wanted to do-
Yes.
I wanted to do a like past LightBringers one, if that was ever going to be possible. I don't know if that can be. Or we could do partners.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so
All
much
right.
for watching.
Okay.
And being here
This
for
has
the...
been Lightbringers. Stay lit.
No, no.
Smoke
Ow.
the ganja.
Bring a lot of light to all the places you go to. And smoke weed every
Yep.
day.
Get blitzed.
Wow, thank you, Rook.
Smoke weed every day.
Just past 420. We
Oh yeah, it's 422.
422.
Sorry, I was just building off of the comedy setup that Boots and Kroof did so excellently.
So who are we? Kroof, why don't you start us off?
I mean, Boots is the best man now, Rook, so you know.
Jebro's
Wow.
eyebrows, and you're like, so let's do our outros. And Jebro's like, okay.
You have Boots just said, I'm the
just,
captain now.
I'm just doing the tech. I'm just doing the tech. It's fine. This is my
You're
role
just doing
now.
the tech stuff. Yeah, you've been overthrown. Jeff.
I didn't even type out the document anymore. I'm just done now. I've got my
Yeah, I
own
noticed
document.
that. I've been
Honestly,
Honestly,
those
isn't it
documents.
liberating? Isn't it freeing not to have to do that?
Not
I
really.
love a good.
I don't
love
know.
a good
I've
outline.
depended on those documents.
I've
this
still
entire
still got my own.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't worry.
okay.
I will show it on the screen. It is,
You can
it
share
is
it with
still
us
here.
before the podcast, Jebro.
No.
And then we
Yeah.
can
No, I
use it
forgot to.
reference.
Because I was
Yeah,
like,
it had
I
a
was
little
like,
more
they're
structure
just
to
not
this.
interested anymore. I was like, now go on, do your outro. I'm done.
Okay, I'm gonna do my outro.
Let's
Okay.
go.
Hi everyone, I'm Kroof. I do a lot of YouTube stuff.
Oh,
and
you're doing
Twitch
your one
stuff.
first. You didn't even get called out to do it first. I mean, what do you want? Are you taking? Everyone's taking over. What's
You know
happening?
what? That's okay. That's okay.
Oh, no,
I'll-
Boots did.
I
Sorry, go
will-
on.
Yeah, Kroof was told. to go
Well,
first.
because Boots handed it off to me. It's like a baton. You know, like those relay races at school. Anyway,
That's fair.
I do a lot of YouTube stuff. I do Guild Wars 2. I've been talking about this stuff with World of Warcraft and their latest expansion announcement. I gotta admit, I'm kind of excited for their talent tree system change because that's what I really love with MMOs is, you know, class customization. But Guild Wars 2 still is just so delicious. I stream here on Twitch throughout the week, Tuesdays through Saturdays. We'll probably be doing Elden Ring tomorrow. And yeah, I have a Twitter. You can follow me there. And a last little bit of good news, at least for my family. My brother was accepted into UC Berkeley. So I have to go. I'm gonna go celebrate. I'm gonna go celebrate
All right.
today. I'm very excited.
That's great. Rook, how about you? You go next.
Great. Thank you so much, Boots. I love this podcast you put together, by the way. It's a really great time.
Yeah,
I'm
I
glad we
try.
get to do it every week.
You should see my show notes.
Are they good? I feel like they'd be good.
They're so long.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rook. You can find me at Rookery. I usually stream 2 to 3 days a week on twitch.tv. Rookery, ROOKURI. I aim to have one video, sometimes more, oftentimes more, sometimes, on YouTube each week. We've been working through our playthroughs of Endwalker and End of Dragons, but we also did just have a whole behind-the-scenes discussion about how myself and a friend of mine made the music video for Answers that we did last year for Final Fantasy XIV. So if you're curious about that, check it out. Otherwise, you can also find me on Twitter at rookery_, and then Instagram rookery2, but I don't post there as much, so that's just a heads up. And I did just want to say to everybody that I do have an announcement here, and that announcement is that actually Kroof was the best man the whole time. So
Wow. I believe it. And we have the beautiful, the wonderful, the smooth-headed, and to be fired next week, Jebro. Why don't you tell us about it?
Cheers to that. Get you some booch.
I'm gonna claim back host duties and hand it back to Boots.
Oh,
Boots.
damn. It was
What
going so
we
well,
do-
too.
It was. I'm sorry. Tell us about yourself and how you enjoy hosting podcasts.
I love it. Speaking of hosting podcasts, I am not the host, but I'm sometimes on Host of Ascalon. Actually, most of the time on Host of Ascalon these days.
Isn't it? It's called the Hosts of Ascalon, and you're not a host.
Yeah. I'm still, I think, like an intern.
The intern position.
Yeah. It's hashtag and Alona that are the true hosts of Ascalon, and I'm like, you know, they're feeling me out. They're like, is this Boots guy?
Haven't you been doing it for like a year? How long does it take to feel you out?
That's a tight company policy. They're like, you really got to
Does it
test
take to
this.
feel you out? That is something to ask a different person. Now,
after dark stream, okay.
LightBringers has not been unlocked yet.
also stream sometimes on Boots_ on Twitch, and on YouTube is World of Enders, on Twitter as well. Yeah, I've been leveling a character from level 1. I'm at level 11 right now. I'm trying to get to 80 by fishing. Old fisherman Boots. He's having a good old time. And also I make builds sometimes.
1 to 80 fishing. I one day, I swear, one day that is just going to be. I can't believe it. This is actually amazing.
It's happening.
You must have.
But I've only been doing it on
much...
stream so far, so I'm sure someone, if they started now, could get it to 80 way faster than me. But this is just for my enjoyment.
And the last fish that you catch at level 80, you can't consume it. You have to save it and keep it in your bank as a trophy.
So far, I've been saving every single fish I've caught.
Wow.
Yeah.
I really want you to go around on maps and just like hawk your wares, just like at random people, just be like, I've got fine fish right here, right here, and then just try and sell it to them.
I started a fishing party. Last stream I started a fishing party, put up a tag in Lion's Arch, and well, a couple of people joined. It was fun, yelling to the other skiffs, going, join the party, whatever. Anyway, it's
Are you role playing as a fisherman?
A little bit. Only like 10 seconds every hour.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very specific amount of time.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
But, yeah, and that's me. Anyway, I gotta go cook dinner. So, Jebro.
Thank you everyone for watching LightBringers episode number 6 of season 2, which has been coming to you from the end of Dragonsness that we've been going through. Also, season 1, we're going back in time, playing new content, doing all the things. We also talk about lots of stuff on the LightBringers podcast and fun community things. And this is Guild Wars 2, an amazing game. Come play it. If you do want to join the LightBringers Guild, check out the link in the description, which will take you to an application form. You'll also be able to come and join the Discord. We've been doing guild missions and lots of other stuff as well. Just slowly, it's just a very chill place to hang out, say hello, join a ton of people who are like-minded and respectful and welcoming to many different people within our community from all different walks of life. Also, if you'd like to follow things that I do specifically, then you can go to twitch.tv/JebroUni, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, all the same thing. I do put content on all of those platforms all the time, whenever I can, because it's difficult, because I'm also an intern doing mental health counseling for kids and adolescents during the week for free. So if you do want to follow the channel, if you do want to subscribe and do all the things, donate, it does help to pay the rent and all the things. And I will be a counselor in August, September. I will be actually a mental health counselor doing the work. So yes, it's going to be awesome.
I will mention one more thing about Old Fisherman Boots. Sure. Boots is actually a nickname. His real name is Sebastian McGill, and he doesn't know why he got the nickname Boots. He thinks it's because he wears fisherman's boots. When obviously you could just call him Seabass because his name's Sebastian, or Gilly or something like that because it's Sebastian McGill. He's very upset about that, actually, how he got stuck with the name Boots.
So you really need to go, obviously. And you keep throughout the entire podcast, you've been like, I need to go. And then you're like, oh, well, I need to get the note. And then I need to go, but I need to tell you about the story. I need to give my character's lore. Yeah, exactly. I need to go.
I love the lore. I feel richer for knowing it. I feel like my world and the world of Guild Wars 2 is broader for having Boots in it. Yeah.
Magical Mike also clipped something. It's on Twitter. It's the backstory as well. You can listen to that.
I will definitely take a look at that for sure. Okay, so people, thanks so much for watching the podcast. And also, if you did not see the video, you can go and watch it on YouTube and check out our gameplay. And also the LightBringers guide for getting Mithril and other things mined out for the achievements. You can go and check that out as well. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, we're back here every week, Fridays. Other than the 2 weeks of bliss where Boots won't be here.
You're no longer my best man.
Damn. Boots will be fired for those 2 weeks, and we'll have an amazing comeback show towards the beginning of June, maybe. Otherwise, thank you very much. Oh, wait a minute.
No, I won't wait a minute.
Okay.
I gotta go.
Next week, LightBringers goes to Hello Kitty Online. See you next time.
Again?
Again.
Ooh.
Oh, go back. Okay.